Holy shit, a race for Texas is in chat.
Yeehaw!
Good evening. Welcome to Savage Thursdays. It's been a few Thursdays. Work, summertime, people here, people there, me, gone. But it's good to be back on Thursday and playing some weird Westage stuff. Drake.
Who got you?
I should, in retrospect, I seen him sitting there just watching the camera, just kind of looking. I'm like, he's just waiting. He's just waiting for the moment. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. Yeah. So we're here. It's been so long. I don't know if any of us remember what happened 3 weeks ago.
Timmons is mayor?
You ain't been the mayor for
37 months, Dice.
Did you say Timmons was the mayor?
Tradition for a while.
He was.
Thank you, Veno. Yeah, you were. You haven't been for a while.
Yeah, he'll always be the mayor per tradition to us, though.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. 37 months, Veno. I'm over here on my OBS. I need to quit and not enable preview and actually go over here to Chatty and I can read stuff. 34 months. That's a long damn time we've been doing this, hasn't it? We all found Fantasy Grounds about the same time, I think.
Give or take, yeah.
Give or take, except Mike and
Except me.
Yeah, if you guys familiar with the stream, and that is not the window. We're already dealing with window creep. Is Mike's cam coming through? It is. We're going to welcome Mike, or better known as Cobblerologist, who has taken over controls for our friend Ingorgio, who is knee deep in college classes and shit right now. So
The Ingorgious is not here.
the Ingorgious one is not here, but he will probably show up and fuck with people. I mean, that's likely to happen. Somebody check stream audio. Make sure that we're all coming through. The players are coming through.
Yeah.
Where the hell's the chat window? That's weird. I didn't know you could close the chat window and oh, you can't. You can cover it up with the combat tracker though.
I wish you could.
All right, very good. We got some audio going. We were inside. You guys are like. By the way, don't forget you got an advanced last.
Oh, did we?
Yeah, you should be 21. 21 advances. I think it was last session, right at the end of the session. And some of you may not have.
So we hit 21
No, it
before
was
that.
the session
Okay.
before
Yeah.
last.
Okay, just wanted to remind everybody. But you've been snowed in this like abandoned saloon. It looks like, probably around the time of the Great Quake. And it's been snowing so hard, all you know is there's like a barn or a stable out back, and your two Klamath guides are like in there. They didn't want to come in the saloon. And you guys have been dealing with what? First it was spiders.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Well, it wasn't really us two.
Ah!
Ingordio, you mentioned his name.
I did mention
Ooh,
his name,
train.
and here he comes.
Ta-ta.
Pipe train incoming.
Oh, really?
Yep. Apparently we had enough subs
Well,
close enough
they
together.
felt sorry for me for being offline for 2 weeks. Yeah, Ingorgeous One is always here. Yes, the Ingorgeous One. He must have heard us talking about him earlier. Where you at, man? You on the road or you home? We'll let that catch up to him. 12-second delay. So yeah, what else do you guys remember about being snowed in here? You're like real close to the border of Oregon, and kind of up between the Cascades and the Sierra Nevadas. Back to South Carolina in the morning. I wish I was going with you, man. So you've been snowed in here, and I mean snowing like a mother. Do you guys remember anything else about last session that I've
I
forgotten?
don't think so. I know there's the blood wire
The blood wire, man.
thingies.
And we got some mercenaries with us. Some mercenaries.
Yeah, I think one of them like got taken out, or at least taken down.
They're missionaries, man.
I know.
Mercenaries, he calls them.
Here for all
It's
that. What
Timmons
happened-
after all.
So there was the one session I missed there. After that, yeah, we had the mercenaries and we got attacked by
Missionaries.
the spiders upstairs. Missionaries. We got attacked by the spiders upstairs while I glared at them evilly.
Glared at them evilly. That's good. That's good. I like that. So, you guys, we're going to fast forward to the next morning after the Bloodwire Men deal.
We're not going to finish that combat.
Oh, are we still in? We are still in combat. Well, absolutely, we're going to finish that combat. And Doc Fong's up front. So, as we come to Doc Fong's your kindly little.
With a Joker, huh? Nice.
Yeah, with a Joker.
Yeah.
Elderly Chinese immigrant that is from kind of the coastal region of Northern California.
Like that anyway.
Yeah. And he's being played tonight for the first hour by Vinerick, who's also playing, where's your other character, Luke Cunningham, down there. And Brad will be along to take over. Bradius will be along to take over Doc Fong here in about an hour or so. Engorgio redeemed a hit with a raise for Albert because he's the best at everything. So yeah, you actually get a hit with a raise then when it comes your turn. Right now it's Doc Fong's turn though. Doc, what are you gonna do?
Well, is it still possible to save Rex down over there? Because he got like hurt pretty bad, if I'm not mistaken.
They're mooks. They just get replaced.
Well, Doc Fong's still going to save him. Try to save him.
Try to save who?
Rex.
Rex. Timmons person, that one of his people that started following him here from that last mining camp you guys stayed at. Yeah, that's Rex. So you're gonna try to save him. Doc Fong comes over here and jumps down in that hole. Give me an athletics roll. Actually be agility. Yeah, it still uses your agility. That's fine. Oh yeah.
I got a double 6.
Yeah, you just boom right down in there and like an agile young man.
He's seen too much. He knows how to handle himself. And then he's going to pull out some poultice and rub it on his wounds. Oh shit! I think he feels right as rain.
Yeah, I would say that is 4 wounds, 3 wounds. It's enough to raise a mook, but it is a mook. So unfortunately, he's still dead. No, I'm kidding. I'll let you do that. I will allow it. Who is Eat Rex is not even shaken anymore because and he's not bleeding out because Doc Fong came and gave him a ginseng Sullivan enema and pumped him right up off the ground.
Rex wakes up and he's like, I've been teabagged by a Chinaman.
Teabagged. All right. Anything else, Doc Fong?
Can I at least assist Rex in standing up?
When it's his turn.
Yeah, if you want to help him up or whatever, yeah, you can do that.
I'll do so.
He can help
Do
you
you
pick up his
have
two-handed axe.
Doc doesn't have? Yeah, he does have. He's got dark side on, so you
Yeah,
can. There's
I
no
think he put
doubt.
on his googles.
Yeah, he's got his
Yeah, I
ally
think so.
googles on. There's no doubt you can see that guy there. And Daisy May.
Well, I probably can if I'm like 12 feet in a hole.
What I want to check and see is this door closed or not?
I think it's a window, isn't it?
No, there was a door over there, because that's where...
That's
Yeah, I think I
not a
forgot to
door.
draw it in. And
Daisy May and there was another guy over there, too. Oh, it was Rex.
got to be open because she's got him targeted.
They came through that door.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought Daisy May took off running, though. Maybe
well,
not.
she got to there, but the door is open because she has him targeted, so he's going to turn around and target old Daisy May. He's going to take 2 actions. Hell with an axe. Oh. I mean, a hit with a raise is just a hit with a raise.
A mook is just a mook. Poor Daisy May.
Exactly. Poor Daisy May. Of course, it might not get.
They're gonna have to take her off of.
She's just shaking. She survived it.
Yeah, but that's the first one.
Oh, yeah, it is the first one. Let's find old Daisy May. Apply that. But
Sorry, Mike. I'm just now seeing your message.
Yeah.
he kind of knocks her to the side. And where is dude here? Let's look. His pace is that. And he gets right up here. And this blood wire whips out at Doc Funk.
Aren't we like in a hole or something?
Misses. Yeah, but remember the hole's only, there's a crawl space underneath here, so it's like, you know, this much of Doc is sticking up out of this hole, him and Rex.
Oh, okay.
You know.
Well, Rex is still laying on the ground.
Yeah, Rex is laying on the ground right now. Squeezy cheese.
It slices, it dices.
He wants his chainsaw back.
What was that doing outside? Back in combat? Not like running away or anything?
No, I think
No.
we were.
You were coming around
I
the
think
building.
we were around the backside of the building when.
It came like down this way.
Yeah, you and Luke, Squeezy G and Luke had been out to check on the scouts, who are kind of.
Yeah.
They got a little
we saw
fire
movement
built out in the
outside, right.
stable, and yeah, they're kind
I
of
think
sitting
Luke
by
saw
themselves.
movement outside, and
Yep.
we were checking things out when y'all got assaulted on the inside. I don't know how the hell they got in.
Well, they come right through the front doors.
Mhm.
Yeah. So yeah, you're get to there. The door's open. Now, Daisy May looks like she's had the shit knocked out of her. Like he hit her with the flat of this axe and knocked her into the door frame, and she's just standing there with this glazed look on her face.
Mama said, "Knock you out."
Mama said, knock you out.
She
Don't
like,
put
just
my
a second
token
while
under
I
their purse.
reload my shotgun.
I'll slide past her so I can end the problem first. And then come back and heal her.
Marbanya, you want to switch the table on for
Oh
the
yeah,
stream?
let's do that. Let's switch the table on for. Would you guys like to see what's going on? I'm so sorry about that.
He's really not.
It's been 3 weeks, man. Forgive me. But nobody's commented on it, so that means nobody's paying attention anyway. We just play on.
Well, Drake obviously paid attention.
Let's see. I should have. Is everybody's cam on?
Because Drake does it all the time. He forgets to
Well,
switch the
mine's
stream
muted
over.
right this moment.
Yeah, I'm just looking over here to see who's. Brad's the only one I got muted right now, so. And we'll turn him on when he gets here. We'll turn old Brad on when he gets here in a little bit. How's
Hey,
that
what you
sound?
do behind closed doors, Marb?
When you get behind closed doors, what are you gonna do, Swish G? Let's see. First of all, I want you to give me an occult roll. Okay. You know this is some kind of not really undead, but I mean it ain't alive, but it ain't really dead. Uh, some kind of plant infestation. You can see these vines wrapped around his body writhing, and it's like the vines are what's moving his limbs and stuff. Does that make any sense? So what are you doing here with
I
your?
should stop my movement back here. One space.
Okay, are you? Is he about to fall into a burning ring of fire?
No, no.
Okay.
I'm going to take 2 actions even with my own. So.
Well, he's also not Johnny Cash, at least not yet.
You're gonna take 2 actions and do what?
I plan to hit the things up at the negative. I already took my. I'm going to cast Havoc
Okay.
on him in that circle.
Havoc. Okay. Faith +2 Havoc. I'm unsure. Did you have? Oh, it's in that circle. So, all right. Tell us what that looks like. Havoc. Oh, cool. There's a link there. This ability creates chaos and mischief for all those within its area of effect, hurling debris and rivals in all directions. You have a success. Um.
So then, yeah. As he prays, the shadows swirl up from the ground and begin knocking everything away from him. Yes, and hopefully launching him back towards Susie.
Okay, so he'll have to do a strength roll. Oh, he's got a D10 in strength. It's cool.
Doesn't mean it'll be successful, but
And it's not.
Yes.
It is totally not successful. And let's see, which
D6.
one is he? He's 4. I want to make sure he doesn't have any. Oh, I meant Bloodwire Man 4. He's going to use a Benny and roll that again.
For some reason, it was a D6 -2. Oh, because he's distracted.
Yeah.
And he gets an additional -2 that I got in a raise. Makes it semi-effective.
You got a raise on what?
No, I didn't. If you do get a raise with Devil,
yeah,
they have to roll a -4 total.
Well, wait a second. It says at -2 if the caster got a raise.
Yes, but also template. Anyone touched by the template is distracted and must then make a strength roll of -2.
Oh.
A strength roll.
Okay, so he's distracted.
Additional -2.
And okay, he is. Yeah, I got. We'll read the first of it, Marbanya, you idiot. Let's put it over here so everybody can read it. Anyone touched by the template is distracted and must then make a strength roll. -2 if the caster got a raise. He did not. Those who fail are hurled 2d6. So did he succeed? No, he did not. So he's hurled 2d6 spaces, 8 spaces, what you roll on your 2d6, and which direction from the away from the caster.
Center, which is going to be in a line right next to me, into that wall.
Oh, you're bringing him back here.
Yeah, I'm bringing him to me.
Yeah, the center of the circle is just behind him.
That's why I have Havoc.
Like that?
Crowd control, basically.
Oh, that's pretty fucking cool, man.
Well, when you don't have a ranged attack,
you gotta bring him to you.
Does he land prone?
Creative.
Is he prone?
Yeah. What's the chances that it's really hard to go by rules as written because Savage Worlds just says, hey man, play it the way it sounds cool. I think he at least needs to make a save. Victims who strike a hard object such as a wall take 2d4 damage. Non-lethal unless it's a spiked wall or other dangerous habits. Flying airborne targets suffer an additional -2 to their strength rolls as they have no ground to brace themselves on.
Just want to point out there's a doorknob, just in case we want to do at least 1 point of penetration damage.
A doorknob. So
you didn't draw it in, but
you shake to do that.
There probably is a doorknob right there.
Yeah, well, I didn't even draw the door in, so I forgot to
there
draw
is
the
a
door
little door in.
I'm going to apply
There's
that.
a door. You just forgot the line of sight on the door.
I forgot the line of sight. There you go. I forgot the line of sight on the door. All right, so does this still exist here, this Havoc?
No.
You're going to drop that. Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't stay. It's just a quick blast.
Gotcha. Boom. Whips this guy backwards into the wall, taking some damage. And does he stand on his feet? He's shaking. Let's give him an agility roll. And he fails, and he is knocked prone. So let's find prone.
And I'm going to use my last point of movement to move over here because I want to keep him close to me.
Keep your friends close and your enemies
closer.
Did that put prone on him? Yep. And then you're going to move over there and wedge him between the wall. What a fucking dickhead thing to do to this poor guy.
Poor guy, my ass.
Now we're going to frenzy him.
Well, he's one of my poor monsters anyway. And then you frenzy on him.
10 minutes later, I just get my Google Eyes goggles on, but what's he doing to that doorknob?
So you miss with one, you hit with the other.
Oh,
yeah. Well, Bloodwire Man has 2 bennies, so he has to at least try to soak, and
he soaks one.
He soaks one, so
you can't take your bennies with you.
Can't take your bennies with you. Well, he doesn't get to. Wait a minute. Incapacitated. He is not bleeding out, though. Cool. That works. This dude.
I did not think that was going to succeed.
It did.
It was just my best option.
It did succeed. Why is this guy prone too? Well, he's going to stand up, so I'll take that off. But that guy was prone. Oh, wait a minute. It's because he's incapacitated. But he wasn't bleeding out, so let me put prone back on him.
You know, that's the only one that's left, isn't it?
The only one we see, anyways.
Well, true. Only one that's on the combat tracker.
And since Marbanya was about to take us out of combat...
Yeah, that's it. That's just 2 of them.
That's metagaming.
Yeah, but...
this is true. That's why I went,
Yeah, pretty much. That's the end of combat, folks. Very well done. Very well done. I don't have my sound shortcuts here, do I?
I'll check on Daisy now. Make sure she's alright.
Whose all didn't trigger shit, did it? You're gonna do what, Wicked?
Check on Daisy May. Make sure she's okay.
Yeah, you kind of smack her around a little bit, or what do you do?
She's like, I'm okay. Just kill it. I'm okay. I'm a little scared, but I'm okay. She pops her shotgun.
Yeah, I have
pumped her
a bad
shotgun.
feeling if she had any actual. If she's just shaken, then just help her get back to the group.
So that takes us out of that combat, and it sounds like it's time to probably reset the party sheet. As you guys settle in for another 3 days, it fucking snows. Pre-roll determined earlier today, so there you go. Snows like hell. 3 more days. You guys are like.
Can Luke come inside at least?
Yeah, Luke can come inside, I guess.
Are there any spiders?
Why don't I just unlock that?
What do you think we've been eating for the last 3 days?
So sick of spider legs.
Technically, the last night wasn't the leg, but that's okay. We'll go with it.
Ugh, I think I'm going to be sick.
There we go. It's now the Monday, the 5th of January.
Since we dealt with those, should fear points be removed?
Yes, all fear points removed. Another 3 days of uneventful time spent here as the blizzard continued to snow. The scouts come in a couple of times and through the whole process, and on the last evening of the blizzard, they're like showing you guys they've got this food, and it looks kind of rotten. You know, it looks like rancid meat. There's maggots coming out of it and stuff. And he tells you that they just killed it the night before. Big old chunk of venison, you know.
It's reached up this far, huh?
Yeah.
Great. For a little bit of context, Mike, there's a famine that's basically been being spread from Los Angeles, or what you would know as Los Angeles.
Sure.
And it's pretty much, meat rots within, or starts rotting within a day.
Oh.
And so, yeah. From a chef's point of view, you know that's bad.
Right. I mean, what about like preservation methods? Nothing matters. Smoking, drying.
Nope.
As a matter of fact, you start looking at your rations and shit, and about the better part of them, the better 75% of them have like, bugs crawling out of them and stuff.
I said we found that it does help, but it's like it's good.
Right.
Yeah.
So like not all of your food has wasted away, but it's like holy shit just in these 3 days. But you've noticed it gradually. 2 days ago you get into your rations, you're like, what the hell's wrong? What the hell? And you smell it, and your trail rations are rotten, and you throw them away, and you get some good ones out and you eat them. And the next day, what the hell? More of these rations? And this is like pemmican. It's like finely shredded venison, smoked, salt cured, smoked, and ground into a powder, and then mixed with pulverized nuts and some other stuff. It's got a shelf life of like 60 days on it.
The mercenaries.
Missionaries?
They
there's a dead one somewhere. When this guy came in, he killed one of them, didn't he? Did something happen to one of these mercenaries?
Why you got Thorpe doing it?
that's kind of my question. What's going on with them guys?
The blizzard stops, and you see them put these things on. You're not sure what they are. They look like flat baskets or something, and they put them on their feet, and out the door they go, and they start walking, and it's like they're standing on top of this snow. They don't sink that far, but you've been having to clear the snow out of the way just so you can go outside and piss and shit and stuff like that, and it's like 4 to 6 feet deep in the open places. As long as you're back under the trees and stuff, it's not that bad. But
don't know how much shitting we're doing if we're not doing a whole lot of eating.
it's hard to even come out here and shit under one of these trees in peace, because you're sitting there taking a squat and the wind blows, and 3 square yards of or cubic yards of snow falls out of the tree right down your butt crack and makes you all cold.
Nutsicles.
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 Yeah.
Nutsicles.
Yeah.
Did you reset bennies and cards?
I'm getting ready to do that right now. I was opening up the party sheet. We are going to reset the bennies and reset the adventure cards.
So, I guess the real question I have to the party is, do we want those baskets they got?
What, you saying we just go take them?
I mean, there's ways.
Shit. Did I get rid of all your people, Timmons? Damn
But
it.
yeah,
That's okay.
that is a way. Timmons is like, we could just tell them we want them.
We just tell them they're ours now.
Yeah,
Well, you guys got skis, don't forget.
they got skis, we got snowshoes.
Albert just has a dress.
No, I think the skis are probably better, right? What do you think?
Oh yeah, these guys, they're still working their ass off trying to, as you see them walking away, heading
Keys might be
south.
better downhill, but if we're going uphill at all,
The worst thing about it is though, as the day progresses and the sun, kind of begins to shine on this snow, you can't see a fucking thing. I mean, it's just like, it's just a whiteout. Your eyes just hurt from the sun glaring up off this.
Timmons is gonna put on his Google Eye glasses. No.
Oh, that would it'd
Oh, you
probably
wanna go-
blind you.
Blind?
Freaking- I think it even says something inside he has them on. That's why I'm taking them off.
I do have my demon mask. Which has
What
the
does
little
it say,
slit eyes, so that should be. It's similar to what the Alaskan Indians use. The Inuits.
Yeah, they over magnify ambient light, causing a bright flash. To wear must roll a vigor -4. Be blinded for 1d6 days.
I ain't leading Timmons around if he blinds himself.
No, he's not. I was.
I'm just pointing that out.
Timmons probably could walk around a little better than you guys, but anytime he does, he goes squeak, 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 squeak.
You put your clown shoes on. They're big enough to keep you from sinking in.
He puts his clown shoes on when he has to go take a shit. I mean,
Oh yeah.
they help. They help.
No, they at least help you get in and out faster.
So are
I
you
think
telling?
Probably use Havoc to help clear the snow.
You're gonna do what? Wicked?
So I can probably use
Havoc to help clear the snow.
blows everything out of that.
So you like blew a bunch of snow out of here so you guys would have a place to go shit. Is that what you're saying?
No, I mean, if that's the case, why couldn't you just dig us a hole to shit in?
I'd still say we just use one of those empty rooms upstairs that we're not living in. It's not like we're gonna stay here for a couple days.
Yeah, but we might have to stay here on the way back too, so there's that.
We can get snowed in again for another couple of weeks, and we ain't got enough food to last till tomorrow.
You know, hopefully our gods can assist us in hunting some animal.
So you guys are gonna
Well-
stay here until maybe the snow melts a little bit. Is that what you're saying?
Don't
No,
think
can
so.
we can
I
we
think that's
make
time
up
to wait.
some kind of blinders for ourselves, maybe?
Well, that's a possibility. You know?
So we don't go snowblind.
Yeah, I don't know.
I, mean,
I don't know what
it's-
blinders look like
Yeah,
when you don't
could
have glasses on.
you could maybe
Look
rip
like
your
that.
Yeah, but you want them to blind you from the snow, so they're like,
yeah.
I think they call those sunglasses, Drake.
I don't know. I don't know if other than maybe wrapping some cloth around. But do you guys have any cloth?
yeah,
know,
there's
dress.
cloths. There's all kinds of
Well,
people
there's
with
bed
cloth.
sheets upstairs. Remember the
Yeah.
bed that was upstairs? Yeah.
Well, when we burned it down.
Yeah, but they're old, about half dry rotted, but you could take that and kind of, wrap it around your head and just leave small slits that, that you can look out of.
Okay.
But I mean, you can get some protection, but it's still going to be rough going with the sun out on this day.
Well, what do our guides think?
You see your guides, and it looks like they've got something like black underneath their eyes right here, and then all around, kind of looks like Alice Cooper, This blackness smeared all around their eyes.
Do you see that booby?
They got this leather wrap goes up around their head, and that's all you can see is these black eyes sticking out of this wrap.
So obviously they're ready to go. So
Oh, they grew up in this country, so they walk in and
as long as we can do something similar.
well, in their limited English, they walk over to, your this stove where you've had this fire going, and he points to it and says,
He's like, "Whew, it's charcoal. It's not poopy."
"It's not poo." They don't. They didn't take their shit and smear it around their eyes. No,
No, they're not Clyde, dude.
that would be pink eye in the making right there.
It's not really a game app right now. You cooch, you chooch. What? I don't know what that is.
What?
I'm talking to Gorgio.
Oh,
Beans are a magical
he's
fruit.
talking to Marb.
Swap to game map, you could. Oh, there's not really anything to. I went back to role playing.
That's what I just said.
Yeah, because we're not really doing anything but role playing right now. Trying to figure it out. But
Yeah, so I guess we'll. The best thing that we can come up with is some cloth and just cut some little slits in it or something. You know, make a little hood kind of thing.
Well, I have a hat I can tuck it under.
yeah, he can look like he's been out collecting honey out of the beehives or something.
We'll do the charcoal stuff and
Yes.
the cloth stuff, and I think we need to get moving.
Agreed.
The only reason we weren't moving is because we could.
Well, you could have, but probably wouldn't have been when you couldn't see 10 feet in front of you. You know.
Yeah, now we just can't see anything.
You're like, it's so bright out here, it hurts my teeth.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. So do you guys travel on then? Let's
Yeah.
take a look at the map here. Where are they at? They're way the hell up here.
North California, eh?
Are we there
Well,
yet?
No, but you figure that it's, you can see the mountains to the north. It's a bright, clear day. You can see for miles, barely, for a couple of seconds. Then you got to shield your eyes, you know. But you can.
Just keep skiing.
Yeah.
Just keep skiing.
It's easy to just keep moving your feet back and forth.
Ja.
just
Yeah.
keep swaying your hips
Yeah,
left and
that's all it
right.
takes. So yeah, you guys take off skiing to the north.
We're going to slope you up.
We're gonna take some extra time though during the day to see if we can do some food hunting as we go.
Perhaps some sort of berries or fruit, and
Or-
I don't know about in the winter so much, but animals definitely.
Small game, rabbits might be out.
Nuts.
Yes, nuts. That's the forest's
You're
fruits.
probably not going to find any nuts, considering there's, at a minimum 2 feet of snow on the ground under the trees. Out between the trees is 4 to 6 feet of snow in places. If it wasn't for the skis, you wouldn't be going anywhere.
They're
Basically.
hiding the nuts in the trees.
Yeah, hiding the nuts. Yeah, or somebody's nuts are
Oh,
up
we
in the
gotta
trees.
find we gotta find the hibernating squirrels, is what he's saying.
Oh, the hibernating squirrels throw the squirrel out and just eat the nuts, huh?
Now we can eat squirrel too.
Yep.
I mean,
I've eaten
Yeah,
squirrel.
exactly.
I've eaten plenty of squirrel when I was a kid. It's not bad actually. And somebody told me later in life they were tree rats. And it kind of like, well, not
They
so.
kind of are.
No, they're not
Yeah.
tree rats at all. They taste like squirrel.
I think Doc Kong found something.
Squirrels are right. I mean, in a pinch, it's nutritious.
It's meat, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's
I
enough
mean, I
meat
would
on it to
probably-
feed one person.
it's a bit of work, but yeah.
I mean, I've never been in my life in the situation where I'm like, squirrel, but
I think I would rather eat squirrel than rat.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
I mean,
what-
oh,
I
yeah.
know they're both rodents. It's just more of what they normally eat as opposed to.
I imagine a squirrel's a more healthier kind of taste, where a rat's more crabby like.
Yeah, that
funky.
sounds about right.
Because the rat eat anything.
Just
Yeah.
about, yeah.
including other rats. Um, Now, when I was growing up, here in the Ozarks, uh, rats and or not rats, but squirrel and rabbit were, that was a common staple
Oh yeah.
back in the 1970s, and not so much
Uh,
anymore. People like they don't. I know some people who still hunt small game, but
on occasion,
it's
yeah.
it's
I mean, I hear squirrel stew is actually pretty good.
yeah, I prefer to just you bake it and then throw it in a pot of beans and then let it cook, and it's
I
just
think
like
Timmons would probably approve of
it's like
that.
it's like ham and beans, but you don't get that smoked ham
Oh,
flavor.
I'm sure we've eaten beans and squirrel at least once in
Oh,
this
I'd
campaign.
imagine. In this campaign, you've probably had beans and squirrel.
Yeah.
We just haven't wasted too much time on the minutiae till now because you don't.
It just happened to come up.
Yeah, you don't really find anything. You see, uh, that I mean, it's like the land is just asleep. Uh, you hear a slight breeze blowing, um, sun shining. You can see the snow drifting by, as the wind blows through. And, yeah, it's not that chilly. But let's say it's probably more
What's the
like on the
temperature?
mountainside. Uh, between 20 and 35 degrees, depending on
That's
time of
that's
day.
probably really warm compared to where we were. You getting to the cabin.
Yeah, yeah. It's at night if it's cloudy, it'll drop down to 20, 25 degrees. If it's clear, it might drop down to 0 Fahrenheit for your European friends of mine out there, or the Canadians too, eh?
Do they do Fahrenheit or Celsius?
Did you see what Gorgio said? Squirrel,
I'm not sure.
nature's little speed bumps. Yeah.
Then you can feel them under the tire a little bit.
I mean, I try to avoid them if possible.
Well, yeah, but they don't
But death
dodge
wish.
right. I don't know. Why do you come
A lot
back?
of them
Just keep going. Don't come back. If you come back, you die. Then they always come back. Stupid little dead squirrel. Why'd you come back? Just keep going. You're safe. And armadillos, they're the worst. They'll stop, and then when you run over them, they get scared, and their first instinct, and when they're scared, is to jump up. So when they hop up, they hit the bottom of your car, and they go, and they just rips them to shreds.
I was
Poor
riding with some
things.
friends coming home from Lake of the Ozarks a few years back, and his wife was driving. It was a fairly new Cadillac. This is probably about 2010, 12, something like that. We're cruising along, and all of a sudden, one of the biggest fucking coons I've ever seen in my life runs right out in front of her, and she catches it right on the corner of the bumper, shattered or broke a bunch of the front bumper, the headlight out of it, and I mean it.
Damn.
It was a big old coon, and it just screwed that Cadillac up.
Not bad.
Of course, you've seen 100 armadillos. Today, he saw a second live one. That's true. Armadillos, they're just nature's little dead
Idiot.
balls.
Yeah, the funny thing is, there were no armadillos here in this part of the country when I was a kid. That's all new. Anyway,
They're
all
probably
right.
migrating. Trying to get to a place that's habitable.
Mm-hmm. So no, and as stop for midday to kind of take a breather, and you start digging around your food. Your food is like almost all of it's turned.
Brett should be here really soon, he says.
Really?
You're gonna be. So we're not having any luck hunting either.
Not right now because it's kind of like everything's just bedded down. It's a winter wonderland. Like you wonder where all the fucking food is.
Right?
Bugs are a good source of protein.
If there's any bugs, it's winter and snow,
I mean,
remember?
if our food's turning, like
Yeah,
All the
but
bugs.
bugs are going to be just as difficult to find as nuts, dude. I mean, I appreciate the effort, though.
There's a difference between a caterpillar and a maggot. I just want to point that out.
That is true.
Well, the stuff crawling around on your rations are not caterpillars.
That's what Timmons was referring to.
And it comes to the evening, and you guys are kind of, you find some trees to lay up in, and you figure, by this time tomorrow you ought to be, pretty close to Medicine Lake. At least starting to climb an elevation up the what's left of the. It's a big shield volcano, so it does rise in elevation, but it doesn't look like, it's not a cone. It's like an upside down shield, big dome type thing. You guys find a place, and you basically sit down to eat the last of your food. I gotta try to find something here.
So, what was the agreement? Who gets eaten first?
I think that was you gets eaten first.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Because I don't want to starve to death. Somebody just, in a couple days, just in the back of the head, just promise me no one's going to eat my feet.
Well, perhaps when we get to the base of the mountains, we can find a cave, and then in the process also find some sort of meat.
Right now, I really could go for a nice piece of bread.
Yep, Sirenscape.
It's probably been a while since we had bread.
I don't
was
know
that
what it
noise?
is. It's like Sirenscape's gonna run so long, and then it's gonna crash.
Well, it seems like a great time to take a break, if you ask me.
Well, you want to take an early break? We can do that. If Brad thinks he's gonna be
Brad-
along, yeah, along fairly
Well,
shortly.
he was telling me earlier that it's been really slow.
Okay, very good. Then we will do that. I will queue up a timer, put some music on, and we'll be right back. So stick around, get something to drink, whatever, but come back. We'll see you in a bit.
Yeah, let's try to remind.
Oh, hell with it. We'll just come back early anyway. What do you say?
Surprise everybody.
Okay, I can close that. And
Don't forget to reset Sirenscape.
love right after break. I get to close down all these windows of stuff that just, it's just stuff. There's Sirenscape.
I think the ones you're talking about there, they can actually change that. Right, the ones I've seen like that, they put there's bumpers built in that they can move through the frame of the window, so you can set the windows to only open as far as you want.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
So the college would have set them like that. I
Okay.
actually had to remove them from one of the windows in my house in order to get the air conditioner in. Because even with the bumper, it wouldn't quite, like, it sat in there and it was too big. So even when I moved it all the way to the top, the window wouldn't quite open enough to get the AC unit in. That one's our real hate.
Still peeing horse.
So we had a bunch in my dad's old house that all had used to be weighted. So they're all built, and it's a huge pain to fucking remove them. But all the ropes had long since disintegrated and dropped the weights. So on the top of it, there's a pulley system that throws the weights up and then into the side frame of the window and back down to a weight that are supposed to help the window open because they're heavy as fuck. And then the ropes just eventually disintegrate, and now you just got this heavy as fuck window that you can't open without putting like a whole ass 2x4 in.
Everybody here?
Yeah, when you redid a bunch of my grandparents' windows that were like that, you gotta take half the freaking damn wall apart to get to them.
Yeah, you got to take the whole frame out for the window
Yeah.
and a whole bunch of
Shit.
stuff. It's just a huge
But
pain.
once we got into it, it went pretty quick. I mean, it was a 2-day project, like 5 windows.
All right, everybody, did you get a chance to look over your new adventure cards and all that good stuff, right? Yeah.
Oh.
So
I don't like them any better than the old ones.
Your 2 guides
Nope.
lead you on the next day. and you've kind
You're
of
leading us on, huh?
lead
I
me
see
on.
how it is.
You kind of come out of there's a like a long plain, and you can see Mount Shasta over here, and like this huge mound rising up to the right, and then behind it you see another mountain kind of off in the distance, um, that actually looks like a huge crater. Not as tall as say Mount Shasta, but looks like Mount Shasta with the top knocked off of it. You know what I mean? And
Oh, somebody has broken that mountain there.
yeah, somebody broke the mountain. Uh, Doc, you've kind of heard of this area because you're from this, Northern California, but you're more along the coast. This is um, uh, sacred ground to the tribes of the Klamath that live in this area, and um, your guides kind of lead you so far, and you break for the day, and you start to look around in uh, your out of rations. There's no food. You don't see any animals moving. You see some deer, but they're so far in the distance, and you get very close to them at all, and they're running because it's just everything's wide open out here. Um, and you guys are starting to get pretty damn hungry. So give me a spirit roll just to see
Just a
how
straight.
just a straight spirit roll.
It's not a fear check or anything.
No.
I really wish we had snacks.
Yeah, Timmons is getting kind of down in the dumps a little bit. And Doc is too. Doc says, "Boy, I wish we had snacks now." Yeah, me too. And Tim's like, "Boy, some beans." And Sweezy G and
Luke's just
Luke,
whistling.
you're kind of Luke's whistling, and Sweezy G is you're listening to these guys talk about food, and Wicked, your character's just got the ability to block this out, through his
Fasting is good for the spirit.
the what?
Fasting is good for the spirit.
Yeah.
I
So
learned this as a child.
you're giving them some advice on how to get through the day. So it's not really affecting you yet, but just
He,
just so this how you're
fasting is something you choose to do. Starving is something totally different. Just to be clear.
That is very wise, yes.
I also need a vigor roll from everybody because you're starting to ascend in altitude somewhat.
Ooh.
The air's starting to get thin. Timmons can feel it. Of course, that'd be natural. Timmons is a pretty good sized guy. Not at all a stranger
Might be a little
to a good
overweight.
meal. Might be, yeah. Doc,
It also
your
could be all the
age.
shit he's carrying too.
Yeah, it could be all the shit he's carrying. The rest of you guys are doing okay, but Doc, you're like, even with these skis, this traveling in the snow is pretty tough, and boys, you and Tim is again, uh, you're hungry and you're tired of this bullshit, and when it comes evening time, let me advance your
Like Tom
token.
saying I'm too old for this shit.
I'm gonna advance your token on this one map of this one that I shared that Doc Fong didn't get. So, you're
Hey, Luke,
just
why don't you
south
carry me?
of Medicine Lake, and the sun starts to go down, and you finally find some trees, some cover, um, and
Robert looks stronger. He should do it.
and
Good idea. I've been best at carrying people.
your guide leads
Exactly.
you to what looks like a cave with black glass walls.
Hmm. Oh, that's unusual.
It's like kind of like that fun house back in St. Louis, a little bit.
It does. It looks like It looks like somebody's melted a bunch of bottles or something, black bottles, and there's this mouth of this cave that comes out of this. Well, it's just a huge mound, that's probably 60 miles across, 30 miles across or something.
Emmett starts looking for like mushrooms or something, fungus or something in this cave. He's like, we gotta make some stew or something.
Yes, let's see if there's mushrooms.
Any signs of perhaps some sleeping here?
A bear?
Bear, wolf, deer?
Something defenseless.
A whole flock of chickens? That would be awesome.
Chicken?
Higher
Very
or low,
unexpected.
Venno? High or low?
Who are you asking?
You, because you're asking if there's. Did you say something about is something sleeping in here?
Yes.
So I'm gonna give you.
Let's go high.
High? Okay. You want 80 or above?
But if you're gonna ask that, you should be more specific. Is something edible sleeping in here? Just.
No, it doesn't really. It goes back a little ways and then it turns into a pretty small. None of you guys could probably fit through there. And your guides tell you that this is basically where they plan on you guys spending the night.
I mean, I'm okay with that. I was just kind of hoping that using a Benny, I could re-roll that percentile.
Change it to the other.
No, save your Benny. Save your Benny.
Question:
Okay.
There's an uh-oh played. Would they make a giant bear in this cave?
Could be. It could also be. Save your Benny, Luke, because your guides tell you they're going out hunting.
I'd already played it, so you'll have to give it back to me.
I can do that.
Adventure cards I can pull back.
There you go.
Thank you.
So your guides tell you, you stay here, and they start acting. They're acting real spooked, like something's wrong, and you can see them. They're going through their packs of stuff, and you see them throwing some like food out or whatever, what might have been food at one time.
Rotten mush by this point,
mush,
maybe.
Yeah, and they're looking at each other and they're kind of freaked out, and they tell you they're going to go hunting, and I mean this is their country.
Well, tell them we'll get a fire going so we can cook the meat when they get back.
All right, there's plenty of pine. There's not really any good hardwoods to. I mean, yeah, you can have some turpentine meat, I guess. It's better than nothing.
Well, no, Timmons has probably got a pot, so
There you go. You just put some water in some stew and forget about trying to. There you go.
I'm looking up stuff about pine needle tea just in case.
And Doc's always got some special herbs.
Well, pine cones. Part of the pine cone is edible. Like the tips of the cone or something, or edible. I don't know.
No, the inside the
yeah,
cone
past
is
the comb.
Oh, inside the cone is edible?
Yeah, the seed part.
Gotcha.
I mean, that would be a good thing if we can't hunt anything.
What? 800 pine cones that we got to get for.
I mean,
400 pine nuts. Split 40 ways where you each get 10 pine nuts. Yeah, it's a lot of work.
Big.
I mean, it's better than nothing.
True.
You guys get this fire going.
We can dig for worms and ants and.
Yeah,
my character wouldn't know it, but the pine forest, you just need to get to the forest floor and take away a couple inches, and everything that's under all the old pine needles is quickly edible.
What?
But you're gonna be a lot of grubs and worms and
scorpions
grubs,
laying around there.
you basically build like a thick blanket. Yeah, you dig your fingers into there and it's just filled with bugs.
I think it's the wrong area for scorpions, Marb.
Can you eat moss? And is there any moss?
There might be cave boss.
No,
Whether or not it
there's
be
this
edible.
particular cave is not. It's not like limestone dolomite caverns that you're familiar with. A lot of them have
Oh,
water
this is
still in it.
probably more like part of a lava tube.
It sounds volcano-y.
Yeah, it's obsidian.
And we're near we're headed to a volcano-y place. So this
Yeah.
was a man-made cave then. It's like chipped away.
No, not really.
No.
Like I said,
Well,
it's probably like a lava tube.
right, some of it is. You can tell where some of it's been chipped away. Uh, it almost looks like this place has been worked a little bit for, arrowheads. Who knows what?
Like flint knapped.
Yeah, I've been like this place is old. Yeah, like flint knapped. There you go. But what's strange is my grandmother used to look for artifacts around here in the Ozark Hills back in, the 1930s, 1940s, 1950s. She had a hell of a collection. It ended up in the county museum. And I've got a couple of real nice, like porter or mortar and pestle stones and things. I've got a bowl that's been completely hollowed out of stone. But she also
That
found
takes a lot of work.
it does. She also found, we're talking that Stone Age. That bowl was Stone
Yeah.
Age, but found a lot of obsidian, green and black obsidian from the Northwest that had, been traded to somebody. Somebody came through here with this, and she'd find these were rare, but she had a couple of them in her collection. So we don't understand the trade network that was here before, Europeans came along. The tribes of North America and Central America traded, and they're now finding Mayan ruins all the way up into like Kentucky and stuff. So there was a lot of commerce and moving and transportation stuff back then. So anyway, that's what this is. It's a volcano tube. The characters may not know that, but the players know exactly what they're kind of sitting in right now. And 8 o'clock comes. You've been here a couple of hours. You stopped about 6. Started this fire. You guys are kind of sitting around the fire getting warm. Your guides aren't back. It's been dark for 2 hours now.
We keep adding water to the stew pot. Come on, fellas. Come on, fellas. You can come back with some kind of meat.
Should we go search for them? Because they should be back by now, right?
Yeah, but what if we go and we fall into whatever they fell in, or get eaten by whatever they got eaten by?
In a big hole. Did they leave any of their stuff with us, or did they take everything with them?
I
Oh,
would
knowing
think
them,
they'd
they
take-
probably.
That's just
They
their
probably
stuff. They don't have all your stuff. They just got their packs and stuff. They're on these
Yeah,
skis.
he's more thinking about whether or not they left without us.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. If I'm wearing my ally googles, can I see any sort of movement or anything? That might be them.
You can look out. It's a clear night and it's getting fucking cold. I mean, cold because it's clear. There's no clouds. The moon shining over this kind of silvery white landscape. Just actually quite beautiful, but it's also quite freaking cold. And you don't see any movement at all, anyplace.
Hey, Marb.
Yeah.
Luke's gonna grab a torch-sized piece of wood out of the fire.
A brand,
Go.
okay.
Just burnt or a burning piece of stick. Just a little bit of light, a little bit of heat. And I'm gonna walk 50 feet and kind of check the perimeter, see if they're nearby or anything weird or off. Would you need a notice roll?
Are you skilled in survival? Fairly skilled in survival?
Before.
Yeah, I mean, you don't notice anything. I mean, it looks just as dead around the. You come out of this cave and you look up behind you, and you're not really looking at a rock wall. You're looking up a long slope that goes. It looks like it goes for miles.
Well, I just go about 50 feet out, and I'm just kind of checking the perimeter.
Well, you
About
do.
50 foot perimeter.
With a 7, you can see the tracks where you guys all skied in here. But you don't ever see any tracks going away from there in the snow.
That's weird.
I mean, was snowing actively when they left, right?
Well,
No,
but
it's not been snowing for 2 days now.
No.
Remember, you
yeah,
guys have
I
been dealing
found
with
ours.
blinded, snow blinding conditions.
Right.
You can see the tracks that you guys all made with your skis coming in, and you kind of follow those tracks out, and you don't see where they've varied off this path any.
Apparently, they may have gone back further than they thought, or something.
Yeah,
Or
it's
they left.
about 9 o'clock now. You've been looking for about an hour.
Maybe something flew down and snatched him up. Timmons starts looking up at the sky.
I don't know. I think the hole is very likely. There are many holes around. For instance, we are in one right now. It's just this one is sideways.
Timmons is speaking this week. It's getting pretty cold out. I think we might need some more firewood. So Timmons and get his crew, and they're gonna get up some firewood.
These are mostly small, stunted pines scattered here and there. There's not a lot of it. It's you can definitely find enough wood to get you through the night, but it's not like you're in a big forest. You can see, oh, here's another little pine tree over there, and you go over there and cut the damn thing down with a big Bowie knife, just hacking at it because it's soft wood.
Well, we got axes and stuff if we need it. So
Yeah, doesn't one of them have a giant axe?
Yeah.
yeah, Rex.
What was that?
That's probably nothing.
I didn't actually play.
It
Sounds
kind of
like
sounded
a-
like a moose. It sounded like a moose, to be honest.
Is it
Moose are
tasty?
made of meat.
Yes.
Very angry meat.
Angry large.
Or in distress.
It's all right. We'll just send some
Hey, either way,
Sure.
Does this sound like a moose?
Does it sound like anything we recognize, or can I give a survival to see if I recognize it?
What? What are you talking about?
Whatever's making that noise in the Sirenscape.
That's my cat. You hear my cat?
If that's your cat, I'm really worried.
Oh, she's
Yeah,
so old.
seriously.
One, jeez.
What?
How big is your cat?
Oh, I got a big cat, man. I used to be best friends with Exotic
700
Joe.
pounds.
Joe Exotic. What's his name? He was my good friend. Joe Exotic.
Tiger King.
Tiger King. Dumb fucker. Sorry, Twitch world out there, but yeah. Hey, you can argue with me about this later on YouTube, my YouTube channel.
It's right there in chat.
Right there in chat. You can go over there and argue with me and tell me how Joe Exotic is not a dumb fucker. Again. And let's see, where were we at? Oh, it's cold outside, and
There's some sort of howling.
Cold night at camp. Here we go.
Is it the full moon?
Cold night at camp.
That's a good question.
Yeah, I believe my Sirenscape crashed.
Yeah, well, maybe that's why you didn't hear it. Just horrific screech. I'm not even sure how to describe it.
Sounds like
dinner. I
dinner.
can hear it now. I can hear the cold night at camp playing anyway.
If it's stopped for me.
You know, I no longer hear the supposed moose. That. The fuck is that?
Dinner. Let's get it.
Okay.
That's Banshee Moose.
Well, it didn't.
Well, you're just ambling
Trigger.
along, aren't you? Why don't you amble up
What?
to oh, you?
What?
Your words fight for you. That's
Brad, are you playing with it again?
I'm not
No.
doing anything this time.
That's me. There was
This time.
there was a button in here. It's the the basic sound set, and it says auto insult.
That's me. There was a button in here.
All right.
If that makes more sense. Like, I found one I wanted a buzzing sound, and it was like buzz, and it was a guy going, loud buzzing sound or something.
Buzz, buzz, buzz.
No, I think he literally said loud buzzing sound.
Yeah, it was very confusing. Does anybody hear that?
Sounds like it's coming from farther up the mountain.
I'll go in the inside part of the cave.
No, I imagine we have the fire.
It goes
a
back
little ways
about
into the cave.
yeah, it goes back about 15 or 20 feet, but that's all it is. Just where they've been. Looks like at some time man has mined out some of the obsidian along the walls.
Doc Fong is moving slightly further away from the entrance than he was before.
Getting further back in there, Kay. Okay.
Timmons is like, that sounds like me.
Sounds like you?
It's a
Meat.
stomach.
Oh,
I thought you
meat.
meant it sounded like you after you ate beans.
We got the stew pot already.
well, if
He's
it's
gonna
not
start
me, it's
they're
certainly
getting his-
coming for us.
He's getting his gear ready, his weapons in. Locking and loaded.
Oh, speaking. That's spooky sounding meat, man.
Hey, meat's meat.
I'm starting to question if it's even edible.
There's one way to find that out.
Well, I mean,
Yes,
if you
Timmons,
think about it,
go experiment.
if you think about it, anything's edible at least once.
So, Luke, I take it that you stopped looking for the scouts.
Well,
You went back to the cave, and then about the
I've
time you
returned
heard this.
since now.
Okay.
Yeah, about the time that I returned, I started hearing this, what we're calling a moose.
Oh, moose.
Well, I mean,
It's an
that's
asterisk.
right.
I'm not sure Timmons even knows what a moose is, so he's going with it. Yeah, it's a moose. That's what it is.
Of course, Timmons doesn't know what a moose is.
Like a whipped chocolate cake.
Oh, that's
Man, I
tasty.
whipped that chocolate cake's ass with a half a gallon of milk. Yeah, talk it up. What are you guys gonna do? Are you just kind of cowering in the back of this cave, or are you gonna go try to hunt this?
No,
I'm gonna get something to
hunger
drink.
is
I want
overtaking
to hear.
fear.
I want to hear some talks and what's the party thinking right now? What are you guys talking about sitting around your little fire?
What time is it? At this
Dying
point?
moose. It's a dying moose.
Whatever it is, we can try eating it. I mean,
Well, let's be careful.
we're not gonna be in a better shape tomorrow.
That's true.
Are we gonna take torches with us, or are we gonna try to use the googles?
We could use the Googles, or maybe Sweetie can do that thing that he does.
Wait, which one? Because he does a lot of sharp, pokey stuff too.
Oh, yes, the one that lets us see in the dark, like the Googles.
He's in his trance over there. Yeah, I'm not gonna go wake him
Yeah,
up.
no, I can
You
dark
wanna wake
side.
it?
He must be doing that fast thing. More meat for us. Alright, here's my Googles. Grump. That's a Google winning sound.
Padoop.
He snapped him a little bit.
Well, either way, I don't think I'm going to be able to sleep with that thing honking in the night.
Well, if y'all can get me to go to sleep, my snoring might mull it out a little bit.
Or
Okay.
cause you to become the best victim for him. If it isn't a moose, anyway.
Spell. Shit.
That continues until about midnight.
Are we going to go look for it?
Oh, we're getting prepared to go out.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
we're not
okay.
staying here.
Let's
Doesn't
go look
matter how
for it.
scared we are. We're more hungry than we are
We're
scared.
getting dark side on and getting weapons loaded and
I've got my shotgun out ready for hunting.
Can I get that too, please?
I'll take my Google off if...
Can you get what? Dark sight?
What do you guys want the allies to stay here? Or you want them to come?
Might as well come.
Let's all hunt this thing down.
I mean, just in case this is something nasty.
Damn right, we're gonna have us some pochaps tonight.
I don't think it's a pig. Pretty sure it's not a pig.
It's a legendary boar.
You can pretty
No,
much
it's
make
the legendary man-bear pig.
you can pretty much make pochaps out of anything. Just ask McDonald's. It's a McRib.
Yeah, some
You could
might already
grind it
have.
up and make it into a nugget of some sort.
Yeah, hey Marv, I think the combat tracker needs just a tad bit of cleanup. I see a couple of duplicates of dark side. Remove the lower one.
From
Yeah,
who?
negative 6 is the one that should be standard.
Like me.
From you, the lower one? It's gone.
Yeah.
Sweezy
that's the wrong one.
has...
And Sweezy has.
Dark sight and smite that should go.
When I said the lower one, I meant not the one with the rays.
I have a smite and my old dark side also.
So did somebody just get a dark sight cast with a raise? Who got the dark sight raise?
We all got the one with the rays. All
Sweezy
the other
G's been
stuff
throwing
should
over
go
the
away.
raise. Okay. So the 1 hour is gone. The dark sight, Doc Fong. Dark sight raise 1 hour. Smite should be gone from Doc Fong.
Yes. Albert's got a smite still.
Looks like the
Albert does not have
with
the
the
dark
rays.
sight.
Looks like with a raise.
Not anymore.
Yeah, I return that to you.
There we go.
But Albert has a smite on it. There you go.
Well,
Albert, I
Albert.
thought you were the best at seeing at night.
Yeah, I thought it did get put on Albert.
I see fine. What are you talking about?
it may have. But I didn't see it. I didn't see it on there. Let's see.
So I just put it on everybody.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it looks like everybody. Yeah, looks
Yeah.
like it's good now.
Dark side effect applied to Albert. Maybe I accidentally deleted it. All right, cool. Everybody's good. I'm gonna get rid of this map because we're just kind of theater of the mind in here for a little bit. Yeah, that. Cock your shotguns. Get ready, boys.
Was kind of nice
Sorry,
though.
what's going on? So you can see with the moon the way it is, it's almost like daylight out here. The moon shining at this clear sky on all this snow, and when you put the dark side on, it's like wow. It's all in black and white, but it's just brilliant. The light shining off all the snow, and you can see for miles. I need notice rolls from everybody.
Let's look around carefully.
As you emerge out of this cave and you're looking back up this mound of mountain behind you. And Timmons, you're like, what the? And you can see it, maybe one of your guides or something, but it doesn't, I mean, they're way in the distance. You see them up around some trees and rocks, and then it's gone.
Like two skiers kind of looking thing.
No, just one figure.
Did you see something, Tim?
Or as my old buddy Martok says, figure. You see a figure.
Sorry, I got distracted.
I'm not sure. I think it was one person.
Albert
how
should
big
not
it
be
was?
feared.
You see as far as you can see?
Yes.
I can see a little bit further than that, so it's kind of hard to explain.
Well, shall we follow? Could be one of our gods.
How big did it look?
Does it sound like it's a moose?
Did it look big enough to be a large animal, or was it a person?
If a large animal's got two legs.
Did we notice how tall it may have looked?
It's quite a ways away. You didn't see anything. Timmons saw it. So ask
I
him.
almost saw it. did. He couldn't.
But all it was just a kind of a, he saw it for a second. You're like, what the fuck? How would Timmons say it? What the fuck?
What the hell?
What the hell?
It's over there. Timmons tries to at least tell them where he saw it the best he can. Like where.
Oh,
Well, let's head
Like-
in that direction.
hey,
Right.
See,
Up there by that tree next to that rock by that big hill.
Looks
Over
like,
that way.
you
And he
know,
says-
you're looking
He
way
said,
up
"Don't
this,
remember, you gotta take a left at the cactus."
kind of way up this mountain. You know, you're looking up there.
no cactus.
What the
No
hell is it?
cactus.
It was up there. See them trees up there? That big rock that's sticking up there. And, but you don't see anything.
Luke, can you shoot one of those glowing bullets that you have that illuminates everything?
It might blind us with this dark vision or dark sight.
I was thinking it would scare away whatever was up there, so it would stop hiding if it's hiding.
The noise we heard earlier was it coming from that direction?
Absolutely.
Well, let's go that way.
Yeah, it could be one of our guides hunting this thing.
Oh, that's true. Let's be careful.
It could be one of the guys trying to find the other guy who's got his nuts caught in a bear trap.
Or he fell in a hole.
Got his nuts caught in the bear trap. Wow, Timmons.
Sever those, man.
Don't think you would have any left at that point.
Listen closely to that sound again. Listen. Bear trap nuts caught?
I mean, he certainly has a point. It was some sort of nut shot, but I don't know if it'd be quite as extreme as what you're envisioning, Timmons.
Maybe there's a leg in the middle of the trap as well, but the nuts are encased.
It could be a big fish.
What? There's no water up here.
Well, that's why it would be unexpected. If a
It
big
could
fish was trying to eat the nuts.
It could be a
No.
big frozen fish. Big
So
frozen.
on a weird side note, apparently California wants to classify bees as fish so they can be protected under wildlife laws.
Why can't
Like,
they be protected
endangered
under wildlife laws as they are?
Oh, it was some kind of weird court.
But it's because
investigation.
It's because
Yeah,
it's California.
pretty much what
That's,
it is.
that's all you have to say. It's California.
Can't you put them on the endangered species list?
Yeah, and if you eat them, you might get cancer. It's known in the state of California that you might get cancer from eating these bees.
No, I think it's to protect them so that our ecosystem doesn't completely crash.
I think he meant like you get just labels on random things that say that.
Kind of watch Bee Story or whatever with the cartoon.
I've got friends that are that keep apiaries around here, and they've had a problem with other like farmers using even some herbicides for their fields that not really pesticides, but I guess I don't know, maybe they got something in it but their entire bee colonies will get wiped out.
Yeah.
No honey this year. What happened? Oh, so and so sprayed his fields. Shit blows on the wind, and
Right.
Yeah, it affects the pollen. It doesn't stick right to the bees and all kinds of crap.
I guess. All right, so you guys start that direction, and it's like you're going and going. The problem is skiing uphill is a fucking bitch, and you're tired and you've had no food. Okay.
I want a snack so much.
Should have stolen them shoes.
Can I get somebody $100 for a goat sandwich right there?
For a goat sandwich.
How much for a pine cone?
Well, there might be pine cones on them trees up there where Timmons thought he saw one of the guides or something. But there's no ski. You don't see any other ski tracks in the snow around here.
What about footprints? Like someone was walking.
Not
Maybe they
not
lost their
this far
skis.
down. You'll have to.
So we're going to the spot where Timmons saw the figure,
All right.
the silhouette.
Well, you go and you go and you go, and it takes you because it's probably You're going uphill. It doesn't seem like it's a whole lot, but it must be. Um, where the hell is my calendar? Everything's underneath another window.
Window creep.
Yeah, so
6 years later.
it would have to be.
Should get found, frozen.
Yeah. An expedition team headed by chief archaeologist blah 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 went to Medicine Lake and discovered frozen, starved to death, the Devil's Posse.
Words found in the snow nearby read beans.
Send beans.
Help. Beans needed.
Whatever this is you hear, the moose or whatever you're saying, it keeps getting farther away from you and farther up the mountain. But now you realize that, man, it's getting fucking cold. You've been out here about 2 hours heading towards this and climbing, and it's difficult in these skis. You're like kind of most of the time walking sideways in them, you know, but at least they hold you up out of the snow. And you finally get up to where this big rock is, where Timmons thought he saw this thing, and you realize, you know, shit, we've been going almost 2 hours. It's, you know, how far up here is this? And it's hard to breathe, and you can't really catch your breath, and everybody give me a notice roll. I'll also take a survival roll from anybody skilled in survival.
Oh, I'm gonna do that instead then.
Albert, looks like there's something
Damn,
that
Doc.
crossed your trail up here a little ways. Oh.
What? Timmons, I wanna reel that one. I wanna use a Billy. Right,
Same thing. He's too busy grumbling about food.
How do you spell beans again? He's making a sign. Please send beans.
Beens.
Oh, make sure to underline it, Timmons.
Are you writing in the snow, are you?
No, he's making a sign and a piece of birch bark and frickin' charcoal.
Yeah, Doc, you actually grow silent for a while. You guys don't hear anything. Doc, you're the first to spot it. It looks like, I don't know, it's looks like something is up in the tree. Is it watching you? There's like is that an eye? You're not sure. It's still, 75 yards away. You're like, what the hell is that up there in that tree?
Hey, what's that over there? Albert, do you see anything?
Albert kind of looks that direction. He's like, what the hell?
Timmons said, maybe it's Sasquatch.
And the trees?
Sasquatch. What's Timmons know about
Sasquatch.
Timmons know about Sasquatch?
He read a comic.
He read a comic. He read a comic
Probably
about
also heard
Sasquatch.
rumors.
There was a
And we
comic
are-
about a big white Sasquatch.
I mean, and we are approximately in the area where Sasquatch would be spotted, so...
A dime, what do they call those? Penny Dreadfuls?
Yeah.
Dime novel?
That's the only way possible that Timmons
Wait.
would ever know anything like that.
Timmons, you've read a book before?
It's not really a book. It's got pictures.
Pictures,
okay.
and there's a sentence.
It's mostly pictures with
4 or
very
5
little
words.
It seemed like an important word when I was a kid. That word Sasquatch. So I learned it. Later on, I found out what it meant, and it's not so important. But today we might witness one. So I got to use it again. See, it's not that bad.
So, you think this is one of these sassy quatches?
Whatever
Well, I
it
don't
is, it ain't
know.
moving. I mean, it's perfectly still.
Hey, Albert, You're the bravest ever, right? Why don't you go poke it with a stick?
Hey, Albert, why
No,
don't you take a shot at it?
No, don't do that. Don't stop. I'm going to look up. I don't think I see it, but I look up in the general direction that they're looking for, and I
What'd
just
you
smile
roll,
and
Luke?
slightly
A
wave.
4? Yeah, well, you gotta keep approaching it. I mean, it's still about 7. He's pointing at these trees and up here about 75 yards away. These trees are a little bit bigger. These aren't your stunted pines.
Do they see it reacting when I wave? Just like, hi.
It doesn't move. It just sits there.
I'm trying to slip off to the side, sneak up towards it.
Yes, let's
I was kind of expecting that.
let's
Well,
approach it slowly.
Snake, we're holding torches. I mean,
Are you sure that's just not
Or not.
a stick in the tree over there? What? We gotta climb up further?
What if it is a bee nest, a beehive?
This ski, I think I got 2 blisters now, and Timmons is complaining.
You get a little closer, Still, it doesn't move.
Maybe
Every
it's the
now
kind
and
of tree
then-
that has leaves we can eat.
Every now and then you see the light shining off its eye. It's got like one eye looking at you.
It's a pirate cat.
Pirate cat.
Oh no, it's Storm.
So can I see it breathing or anything?
Mm-mm. I mean, you don't see it
I'll just
moving. You're still 50 yards away. You want to get close enough to see if it's breathing?
Well,
Yeah.
I think we're approaching, and Sweezy Chi is sneaking around.
Oh, he's sneaking up and around.
Yeah, while they were making all the noise here, I was gonna slip off to the side.
Erase
so
your
you get closer
Texas.
to it.
Yeah, and we're just going to not casually, but cautiously approach, probably slower than him or something.
Yeah,
We don't know what this thing is or what it's going to do. But still kind of like talking loudly while doing so. Is that correct, guys?
Eraser Texas says it's a parakeet. Don't know what the hell a parakeet is. What's the
Is that anything like a parakeet and a cat?
a parakeet? That's what happened when the cat ate the parakeet.
Or did something else to the parakeet?
Or maybe he's asking what I said. I said a pirate cat. Because it has one eye. Pirate cat.
Pirate cat?
It's a pirate cat.
Hopefully it's not one of those pyro cats.
What?
That's what happens when Storm and Taylor have a child.
I think it's somebody dropped something and it is laying up there in a branch in that tree.
I don't think that would happen, Brad.
I don't either, but
The big clump of snow.
yeah, why don't you throw a rock at it?
How close you getting, Sweezy G? You getting right up to it?
Oh yeah, I'm heading right to it.
You get up there and you're like,
Is there music playing? Dun, 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 dun.
let's see, can I do this from? I can't. Well, it won't whisper. Damn it. Whisper recipient not found.
What? Who are
Yeah,
you trying to
Whisper to
whisper?
Sweezy.
Sweezy G.
Yeah,
we went over that because his name is like dash.
Yeah, for some reason his character is broken for whispers. I don't know why.
Oh, I just write. He's got an extra space at the end of his name is why.
I'll remove it. I see. I remember we had fixed it last time.
So that meditating you do, you get those extra spaces going.
Well, you guys can see Sweezy up there about 50 yards in front of you. He's come around. He's like right at the base of this tree now. And
we're all like, look, he's not very stealthy. We can all see him.
yeah. As you spam him with tells, everybody's like, oh yeah, it works that way.
Did you get spammed with whispers?
Brad's whispering to him. I can tell because he said, oh, it worked.
No, that was Venna, huh?
That was me. I'm Luke.
Oh, Veneric Luke Hunt. Yeah, okay, never mind. Sorry about that, Vito. Cat knew the guy would fall off his bike. That's pretty good. I think somebody photoshopped that shit.
I think it's very
No,
random, but also cat. So
to be honest, I've seen cats swat at things on TV screens, and I can believe that. It was pure coincidence.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah, I believe the cat has psychic powers. They all do. They're like,
I believe the cat bet on one of the other racers. Wanted to make sure his bet won.
I think they can see into the realm of the afterlife too.
They can see something.
Yeah. Sweezy G, you gonna do anything with that knowledge? Draped over branches.
So do you know what it is yet, Luke?
I'm gonna try to make my way back to them sneakily and watching out for them.
oh, look, he's being stealthy again. He's coming back this way.
Oh, I'm muted. That's why you can't hear me.
Or we just weren't listening to one or the other.
No, I was muted. I was asking, since we've moved a little closer to it, can I give a notice roll to see if I see it now?
Yeah, so you guys start walking towards him. He starts walking towards you. You meet about halfway. You're about 25 yards from this thing.
I'll let them know. Looks like something else killed the elk. Must be what we were hearing. Threw it into a tree.
Wait, is it meat?
Wait.
Yes, there's meat. But
But the question is, do we want to meet the thing that put it up there?
looks like it continued up the mountain away from the tree.
So we could take the meat and go back to our cave.
Yes.
Oh,
Sounds good to me.
wait, is it? It didn't mean it's not a trap, is it? The meat's not bait, right? Did you look around again?
Looked around up there. Like I said, it looked like it took off heading up the mountain.
Yeah, there weren't any bleeding wounds or anything on it either.
On the elk?
Well, it's really cold. Wouldn't it be frozen?
Not that quickly.
Did you climb up there to it, Sweezy G? I wouldn't make you, with your skills, I wouldn't even make you roll for it.
I had not yet at this point.
Well, you guys walk on up. It's only 25 yards. You walk up there. It's about 15 feet up, draped over the branch of this pine tree.
An elk, like
or worried
an
they were
elk.
using it as bait. So.
I told you it was a
600,
moose.
700-pound elk.
I told you it was a
an
moose.
800-pound elk, yeah.
Tim is like, that is a big ass piece of meat.
But what the hell could put it up there? I really don't want to meet whatever it did.
Let's keep an eye out to make sure whatever it is doesn't come back.
Timmons is like looking around to see if there's like any cables or tripwires or freaking booby traps.
No, but you can see a trail that goes on up the mountain. Something's walked that way.
Like,
Hey,
What
Let's
kind
not
of trail?
we could,
Like skis or
No.
like walking?
Like walking.
like a
something's
mech
walked.
warrior thing. you
Yeah,
know?
and the
Oops.
snow up
Treads.
the snow up here where it's a little, where there's not as much cover and stuff, and the wind is a little heavier. Is a lot of it's blown away. It's not nearly as deep up here. Maybe 3 foot in some of the deeper places, but about 2 feet deep. But whatever it is, it didn't seem to, it just moves on up the mountain,
it
disappearing
looks
into the
fairly
distance.
big. Whatever it was, it had big tracks, right?
Probably about. Well, I don't know. Who got the big survival roll earlier?
I did.
Doc Fong, you figure that's a good 6 feet between where each leg went into the snow.
Does it
Well,
look like
I
it
will-
was wearing boots or not?
Well, I mean, I don't know. It's the snow's 2 to 3 feet deep. You know, you can see where its foot went in, but then as its foot came out, you know, the snow kind of caves in around the. If you've ever tracked anybody or looked, you know, followed, sometimes it can be pretty clear. But this snow is powdery and dry.
And it's kind of windy here.
Kind of windy, so you know it's really hard to tell what the hell it was. But whatever it was it's 5 to 6 feet between each footstep.
And the footprints themselves are approximately how large?
When we qualify its feet as big. And it's what, Vino?
I was just
Each
asking
hole is about as big around as a watermelon. Good sized summer watermelon.
so at least a foot and a half.
But up at this point, it would be more like a pumpkin, maybe, because they don't have watermelons over this way. But I'm just saying. Timmons is like trying to figure out how to get up to this elk.
Yeah,
He's
I'll
climbing
climb
up
up
the
and cut it
tree,
down.
or
Oh, could your friend chop down the tree?
So I'll just climb up there and take out a couple of branches.
Or why doesn't
It's heavy
Sweetie just
enough,
climb
it'll
up there and
come
take off
down.
a couple of branches?
This is
sounds
a pretty
good.
good sized tree and a pretty good sized branch. I mean, this 800-pound elk. This branch is as big around as, I mean, I say branch, it's a limb. You know, it's as big around as your torso. So you can
Have you
climb up
seen
there
what
and hack.
Sweezy did to a boat?
well, Timmons wants to check it out. Does it look like it was placed up here, or does it look like it was tossed, or?
Well, it looks like it could have jumped up here and just kind of, but you know, if it could jump up here.
I figure
This-
something either
the
hit
elk?
it or threw it.
The elk looks like it jumped up here.
Well, I mean, it looks like it could have. It jumped up here and got hung up and just kind of hung over the branch and died or something. But it's sitting there, its tongue's hanging out. Are you guys gonna climb up there to it and
Yeah.
see? Somebody's gonna climb up there. It's still warm.
Go ahead, Sweezy.
Oh, might as well.
Oh,
Let's go, Timmons, Sweezy.
did you? Does it look like it was
Athletics. Is
somewhere?
Yes, athletics would cover climbing.
Players or why? GMs can't have any nice things. Thank you, Erasure Texas. He knows. He knows. I'm always breaking my shit.
I haven't broken shit. Any stories you've heard are lies.
The only reason I haven't broken is I haven't figured out how.
The cat's tearing the Minecraft shit down. I gotta stop watching your cat videos over here on the. They're distracting me, man.
Cat videos.
That's why DMs can't keep your fucking mind on the game. Anyway, what were you saying? You guys can easily tie a rope onto this thing, get on the ground, and pull the damn thing out of the tree if you want to.
Well, we wanted to check it out. I mean, if it was been dead for a while and
No,
stuff.
it's warm.
So yeah, that's what I'm saying. We needed to climb up there to see that it's warm and.
Yeah.
Does
So-
it look like it was like sliced, diced, or it's just been like
Well, you
squished?
get it
It's
down
strangled?
get it down on the ground. Or are you gonna try to do an inspection up here in the trees, or do an
a little
autopsy?
bit.
Exactly. What are you doing here?
Timmons is going to volunteer that Albert checks to see if the moose is pregnant.
I'll second.
It's not a moose.
Or is
Because
it
we know he would do a really good job. He would
Yes.
be number one at it. He would be the best.
Albert, 15 feet up in that tree. Let's see it. Let's see your
All right.
athletics climb roll. Sweezy G goes right up the tree. Timmons he's struggling a little bit. Luke,
I think,
athletics.
Sweet- Quite literally walks up the tree.
Albert, you're right now. You're thinking that
Yeah.
you don't need to prove you're the greatest climber in the world.
No, everyone already knows it.
Everybody already knows that. What kind of shit do I have to prove? So you three are able to climb up this tree and kind of maneuver this thing until it falls off onto the ground.
Well, but I wanted to kick it once.
Oh, you wanted to
Once
kick
out
it
of the
once?
tree.
You kick it
I'm
and
going to
it
use
farts.
my chi to superior kung fu tai chi it. So I was going to knock something back 1d4 for success and raise on my hit.
Are you just punting it out of the tree?
Are you
Punches
punching
your
this?
tree to such an exceptional degree that your attack. Oh no, he's just gonna like get up on the branch and give it a quick boot underneath and up into the air and out of the tree.
Just some kind of Chun-Li crap.
Okay,
Hey,
man.
y'all!
I hope you get a
Attack
raise.
to knock your opponents halfway to Philadelphia despite appearing as gentle as a breeze.
This is an 800 pound fucking elk, man. Can you do that?
Physically, no. But like as a real person,
But
absolutely.
it's some kind of
It's supposed to be like right out of like the kung fu movies.
it's
where
a
they kick the
powered.
gun and
Okay,
fuck
it's a chi power. Okay, very good. Let's see your powers roll on that.
I just have to hit any opponent I make contact with. From
Well,
now on.
you don't. Yeah, just
Moves 1d4 yards per success.
as long as it's not a crit fail, you can kind of grab onto this branch.
See, then you'll fly
You
out.
see Sweezy G start swinging back and forth, hanging onto this branch underneath this thing, and he's swinging and he's swinging and he's swinging, and boom! He kicks this elk, and it goes up about a foot and a half, but it's enough to kind of shift its weight, and it slowly slides off this branch and drops to 15 feet into the snow.
Pretty sure it did not get up there on its own accord.
Well, let's make sure it's not one of those spider moose.
Eraser Texas just
What?
redeemed a miss me for the
No,
elk.
no, what? What? Why would you mention such a thing, Doc?
Did you say spider elk?
Yes.
Make a spirit check there, Luke.
Spider moose. Spider moose.
You survive. You don't. You're like, that's just a bad joke,
Don't freak out. I
Doc.
was like, no.
But you know
yeah.
what? I gave you a Benny for the role play, man. That was good. Luke Cunningham and your fear of spiders. You get it on the ground. And like I said, you don't see where it's bleeding anywhere. But it's dead.
How about a general smarts roll to see if I can figure out how it may have gotten up there?
Strangled? Like Jesus.
I'd say that's a negative.
Yeah, well,
Tim is like,
hey diddle
maybe-
diddle, cat in a fiddle, and a cow jump over the moon, so I guess a elk jump up in a tree.
Tim says maybe he get some of that stuff that Doc got that time. Remember he was flying around? Maybe
yeah.
that was
Flying
some-
reindeer.
Yeah.
It's the
I think I'm a little distracted by my stomach to think.
Scandinavian.
this- I remember this fella. His name was Chris, and he had some elk like this. They kind of had different horns on them, though.
feed them mushrooms and they fly.
He was German, I remember. Chris, yeah.
Perhaps the spirits of this land. That's kind of what Sweezy G's thinking.
Chris Kringle, you get it?
Yeah, the Chris Crank. Actually, I kind of like the really old Scandinavian, the roots of the whole Santa Claus thing. About the guy who would go around and get mushrooms and feed them to the deer and make them fly, and they'd leave presents for people in their house and stuff. Mushrooms. Healing roll to see if you figure out. Do you have medicine, Doc?
That is medicine here.
Okay, then that's fine. Give me a healing roll to see if. Absolutely.
It would be healing in the sense of forensics, right?
Yeah, it does say you can do it for forensics.
You're looking the thing over and it's big, so it's hard to move it. But you go around and you pick up its head, and it's not an elk with big antlers. It's a cow. It's a female elk. So you go around, you pick up its head, and you're like, what the hell? And you kind of spin it, and you realize that, man, this thing's neck's broken. Like fucking bad. Like it's twisted all the way around.
I don't think they're supposed to be able to turn their heads like this. Look, it's laying on its stomach, but it can see you, Albert.
It's not an owl. It's not an owl elk.
Oh, let's find out.
You don't find any
Who?
wings on the elk.
Who?
Ooh.
Who? Nope, not now.
Well, it didn't sound like an owl, you idiots. You idiots.
Oh, I like that idea, Sweezy. That makes sense. The spirits sent it to us for dinner.
That sounds good to me. Let's get this thing cut up and hauled back.
Yeah, grab it, Rex and other guy.
Rex, another guy. So you guys
Not the other guy's
actually you
names.
figure if you quarter this thing
The-
up, you'll have about 4 chunks of meat that are about 150 pounds apiece, 100 pounds apiece. So
Meat.
yeah, there's a lot of guts, a lot of waste. Cut the head off, leave it out here, quarter
Oh,
this thing up.
we're as fast as we can get it back. We're gonna cook up what we can because we know it's gonna go bad fast. So we gotta eat it and.
All right, so it's about a quarter mile back to the camp. You guys get back there, and after all these shenanigans, I'm going to say, by the time you get some of this cooked up in the pot, and you're like, okay, it's done enough to eat, it's about 2 a.m. in the morning. It's grown pretty quiet out here, and the wind picks up. It's not snowing, because you can see the stars, you can see the moon, it's bright, but this dry, powdery snow is just, it almost sandblasts you. But you've got a nice place kind of hunkered down in this lava tube coming out of the bottom of Medicine Lake. And you guys are able to get some food into your stomachs and avoid getting the fatigue.
Yeah, because fatigue.
Fatigue sucks in Savage Worlds.
Luckily, there's a really easy solution.
Fatigue is to Savage World is encumbrance, or not encumbrance. Exhaustion is to 5e. It's like the
Right.
shittiest
Just a
thing.
lot
there.
worse.
Eat
Yeah,
till
because
you
there's only
puked and eat
3
some
levels
more.
instead of 6.
The
That's what's worse.
Elxorcist. I like that, the Elxorcist. Yeah, keep eating, puke, eat some more. So yeah, you guys are able to pass the rest of the night. After you've got your bellies, full, you pack this elk meat down in the snow, or what? What do you do with this?
That's a lot of meat.
It's a lot of meat. I mean, you made a pot of food big enough to feed everybody, but there's a lot of meat left over. What are you gonna do with it?
Yeah, we're gonna have to put it in preserve it, wrap it up, and put it in the snow somewhere. I mean, most of it. We're gonna keep a couple of chunks.
Well, we need to try to save as much as we can because it is going to quickly rot. So
Does anyone have salt? We can just pack it in salt
thank you,
too.
thank you, Bradius Caesar. To honor the Elxorcist. 100 biddies. Thank you. Big biddies. What was that, Mike?
I mean, does anyone have any salt so we can pack it in salt?
I don't think
I
you guys
mean, your
brought...
Albert has everything, right?
Timmons has got like
Albert's
3.
got nothing useful in his inventory.
Timmons said, "I got right here. I got 3 of the little McDonald's salt packs."
I've got this powdered rhino horn, but that won't fix this.
Yeah, Albert's got 50 cigars, a dress, and wild awesome sauce.
So he does say, I remember him getting... That's the engorgeous one for you. Some wild awesome sauce in his bag. Yeah. You guys don't really have anything to like cure it, so you can, at least bury it in the snow, freeze it, I guess.
I mean, it's really cold. It should freeze good.
All right, 10 o'clock the next morning. You guys have now, been able to get about 8 hours sleep, 8 hours rest, passed uneventfully. But like I said, the wind is blowing like hell. The sun is shining, and it's a cold wind coming down out of the north, and the snow is just sandblasting you when you get out in it. You guys gonna carry on?
How far do we
Little
estimate we
breakfast?
got?
Do we see our guides at all?
You have not seen your guides, nor any sign of your guides.
Timmons, you are very loud. Why don't you try to yell?
Tonight. Pulls out his shotgun and shoots it up in the air.
Really? You're
Yeah.
thankful you're not on a steeper mountain. And the snow is not deep enough up here anyway to it's like the wind's blowing most of it on. You get out, you get to looking around, nothing fires a gun back. Um, but you do think that you can see kind of to the east, to the northeast a little bit, maybe the northeast side of this hill, that maybe some smoke. You're not sure.
Maybe he said smoke over that way, but
Then
is that
the
the way we're
wind picks
going?
up and the snow.
Sorta
Not really. Well, you don't know. You just know that
towards Medicine Lake.
you've got, yeah, Medicine Lake, Crater Lake, and Mount Shasta had X's on them in this map that Squeezy Cheese made when he went into what was that you went into? Did you go into a trance or something and you held
Yeah,
the
object
object?
reading.
Yeah.
It's that late night clubbing, Taco Bell eating
Yeah.
trance. We saw it.
Yeah, he was at a rave and he saw the map stone at the moment of its creation.
But he had to fast forward a while.
He wanted it to blow in his face and touch him, but I
All
don't
right,
know.
well,
I
we're
went
going
into
to
a
that
rave at
mountain,
Disney World, and that's what I saw him doing. And somebody's like, "Oh, they're all eating ecstasy." I'm like, "At Disney World? Oh, yeah, that's what people do. They go to raves, I guess. Anyway, what was that, Brad?
Oh, is it that mountain over there we're going to? Even if we don't have our guides, we're going that way. Which way is that relative to the smoke?
You're probably well. It's like around to you guys are going south to north, almost straight north, and off to the east on the same slope you're ascending, uh, which the according to the guides was the last thing they told you is there in the distance. There's Mount Shasta, there's Medicine Lake volcano, and then you could see what's left of the crater between these two things on up to the north, and they
And
told
from
you
what I
that was
remember,
Crater Lake.
they said that one guy said that they called it Mount Mazama.
Mount Mazama.
Is that where we're heading?
Yes,
Which
That's
is
what-
Crater Lake, right?
Medicine Lake.
Oh,
Yeah, big shield volcano, like a big dome, right? Eat, sleep, chi, repeat. There you go, Wicked. He's got Squeezy Cheese's methods all worked out. So you guys go towards the smoke, or you go on up the mountain. You really don't know where you're going. You're like, I guess, looking for a cave, but obviously not the one you just came out of because it didn't go anywhere into a little hole.
I say we go over to the smoke.
That makes sense because
Yeah,
maybe
same.
our guides need our help. Because we could
And
go
we-
to the mountain, but there might be a better way.
I mean, maybe they got a big enough fire we can cook some of this elk up too.
Maybe they found their own elk, and they're making jerky.
Oh, so it was like raining elks. They just kept falling out of the sky.
It's raining elks
it's
and mooses.
raining
Yeah, I
elves.
do remember hearing a singer sing that once
It's raining.
down at Albert's bar.
Mm.
All right, we're gonna take a quick 5-minute break. I'm not even gonna go over to the countdown, and
That
because
sounds
I already
good.
closed that. But we took a break too early, and I can't.
Bladders can't
Yeah,
hang.
I can't hang.
Now you have to pee.
Yeah, we'll be right back. Cool. I'm back.
Me too.
Never left.
I'm mobile.
Had to give my cats some treats. My cats. Yeah. The wife and took one of the boys up to catch a flight to Miami. But there happens to be a storm down there.
Tell me about it. I'm only 80 miles from Miami.
Yep. So last I knew, he may be spending the night in the Miami airport.
Who?
Kyle.
Ah.
Well, I got a spare bedroom if he wants to take the 80-mile drive.
Yeah.
In the storm that's so bad I canceled flights.
Well, it's just tropical storm. It's not even a hurricane yet. Come on, fly them planes. Didn't they teach you how to fly them planes?
It's not so much the wind and all that. It's the lightning.
Yeah, it's probably more the lightning.
Well, hell, they fly Hurricane Hunter planes through. Right through the eye wall.
Well, that's because they're particularly built for that sort of thing.
Maybe
So the
that's what happened
Cessna
to the
their
plane
end's
they
not going to
lost.
hold up? Or what?
Maybe a C-130. Definitely not a freaking 747.
No.
Shit would be shredded.
I can't remember what the C-130, C-180, I can't remember what it is they fly into those, what those Hurricane Hunters are. Big old 4-prop plane.
I think they are C-130s.
Are they?
Modified.
All right. So, heading towards the smoke.
Yes.
As you get closer, you realize that it looks like you're kind of up on the slope above, probably a hole or something, a lot like the camp you were just in. And you've passed several lava tubes, the openings of lava tubes coming out. So you're like, is that another big one? And you get down there, and you see 5 natives back in this cavern. It's a little bit bigger than the one that you guys were. They've got a fire going.
I believe Doc can, or somebody can speak with them.
They've all got firearms. They all look up at you when you come in.
Hello.
So you send
Mhm.
Doc in first?
Yeah, I think the rest of us should back off.
I don't remember which one we determined, but one of the languages we looked up before, and it was related to the ones they speak here.
The Klamath. There's 3 tribes of the Klamath, I think. And I think you did pick one of those.
Talk about bubbling crude.
And you begin to...
The Klamaths? The Clampets? Oh.
No, not the Clampets. Klamath Indians. Klamath. No, not A-N-T-H. A-T-H. Klamath.
It's a P3, by the way, Marbanya. P3. The Kermit.
There's some pretty cool videos out there on YouTube of those planes flying around inside the eye of a hurricane, man. So what do you say to these guys, Doc?
Hello.
They obviously stand up. They see you. They're looking past you at the rest of your group behind, and the rest of you guys kind of back off a little bit.
Oh, don't worry about them. We're friendly. We're going on a trip, and we seem to have lost our guides.
He looks at you and he goes, "Where did you learn our tongue?"
Oh, I've traveled around quite a lot. Mostly it's further to the southwest of here, but
Who are those back there that hide in the bright light?
oh, those are my associates. Don't worry, they're friendly. They're just weren't sure if they started coming in and talking and if you couldn't understand them and that you might get angry.
Or freak out, or we just didn't want to threaten you, basically.
Yeah, we didn't want to. We want to make sure.
So,
I
does
introduced
Benno
us.
speak this native tongue now? All of a sudden?
No, I was kind of helping him
Oh
out.
yeah, exactly. He just kind of metagaming like a motherfucker. But anyway,
I'm kibitzing, basically.
yeah. Man, these are good chicken.
What is that guy cooking?
Toasted.
Yeah,
ribs.
those are pretty good. They're good with the dip. Like
Yeah.
if you got the
cream
right kind
cheese
of dip.
somehow.
French onion dip.
What did you just ask, Drake?
I was curious what they're cooking. Tim's like he tries to peek to see what they got cooking on the fire or what the fire.
It doesn't look like they've got much. You can see what looks like, who knows, groundhog. You know, you're not sure what kind of rodents are about. You know,
So Tim is
yay,
pretty
so
sure it's
big.
not.
Uh,
He just the first thought was he's just double checking
It's not elk.
that it doesn't look like people.
Oh no, it's not people.
Okay.
But there's no meat left on it either. You know, it's
And then the second thing is he's sad that it's not. That he's happy that it's not people, but now he's sad that it's so shriveled up and there's no meat left on it.
You guys, you dragging this elk meat with you?
We got
Hell yeah.
we only have like a day until it goes bad, so we're trying to eat it, cook it as much as we can. That's why we came over here to this fire. Maybe we could borrow some of the fire to cook some of this elk up
And we
before it
can
goes
share it
bad.
with them.
But my
Yeah.
friends here, they will come. I will introduce them. We found some elk last night. If you would like to share some with us, come on, everybody. Come bring.
You say you found some elk last night.
Yes, it was one of those tree elks. Or at very least, we found it in a tree. There were some strange sounds. Do you know anything about strange sounds?
Maybe the language doesn't translate properly. Tree elk?
It's like
Maybe he's getting
It's like you're trying to speak another language and you don't know the word, so you just string a couple related words together.
what did this sound like?
It kind of sounded like ah.
All right, give a performance roll, Doc.
Right, he might have sounded better than I actually did.
Well, actually, I think you nailed the nuts and the bear trap sound, though.
Yeah.
I think you really
Yeah, the nuts and the bear trap sound, you nailed it. And these 5 braves kind of look at each other. You also notice these are very big men. Shortest guy here is 6 foot tall. But they all look at each other when you make this noise. And he looks back and he sees this, you know, these chunks of meat you guys are carrying. And he tells you, Doc, he says, tell your friends to come and we'll gather more wood for the fire.
Come on, everybody. Here, I'll introduce you. This is Timmons. And that's Luke and Albert,
Ow.
ZG, and Timmons' associates. I'm Doc Fong. What were your names?
Meringue,
Mm-hmm.
souffle,
Mm-hmm.
sauteed,
Couscous.
couscous, and he said there's 5. We got and one more flambéed. There you go.
Flambéed. Yep, flambéed is the one talking to you.
They call him Flammy for
I
short.
found Mike was rather silent during that naming convention.
I made a face on camera.
Yeah,
He's
so
worried they're gonna steal his. move
sorry,
into,
Mike.
his
Mike
baked
is a
goods.
chef for those who just come in late. Yeah.
He was probably surprised that I was coming up with all that. I've never actually qualified as a chef, but I have done a lot of cooking.
All right. So they kind of gather. I got some wood back here in the back of this cave, and they bring some more of it out, get this fire going. You see, they got sticks for cooking. They've got some hides and things, but it looks like they've probably been here since this snow came in. They've been hunkered down here, and he tells you, Brad, that yeah, about a week ago they got cut off on a hunt and did not make it back to the tribe. So
Oh yes, it was very snowy.
Well,
Yes,
looked like we came along just in time to make sure you didn't starve.
yes, we were headed to a place that we're told you call Mount Mazama, or is what our guides did anyway.
what the hell is that noise? What are you doing,
That's
Brad?
ex-
What's the noises you're making? You're freaking me out.
What? I didn't make a noise.
You didn't do that?
You might be hearing my spoon tap on the
No.
cup as I'm eating cereal.
No,
I
I
don't know
heard.
if it was
I heard
bigger
like.
or not.
Um. So you guys are do all of you come inside this cave? This cave's about 30 feet deep. But it's big, hollowed out. Um.
Yeah, we'll come in when we're invited.
There's not any lightning bolts in here, right?
They invite you in, but I'll put it this way: these 5, they'll look to and talk to Sweezy G and Doc Fong, but you White Eyes they really don't want to have much to do with. And since Doc Fong's the only one that speaks your language, they're as far as you know, they don't speak English.
Yeah, I guess we'll take our meat elsewhere then.
Don't be rude, Albert. Let's at least try to be
do
friendly.
that little head shake thing again, Mike. Yeah, we'll take our meat elsewhere.
That does sound like an Albert thing.
Yeah,
Totally.
exactly. Yeah, I think you should have probably a Benny for that. So, where's Albert? Yeah.
Yes, you didn't see our guides at all. They went looking for food, and we haven't seen them since. And then we heard that sound.
Who are these guides?
I
It
would
was-
describe them.
Flambéed asked.
One of their names was Merng, and the other one was Bob. What? Oh.
You describe them, you name them, and he tells you basically they're outcasts. Yeah, that's probably why they left. He says we saw them last night, heading back down the mountain.
Did we pay them fully in advance, or was it half in advance and half on arrival?
Maybe they look at
have
it like
no
you
idea.
arrived. You've arrived. We're done.
Well, we will not share our elk with them. Okay, that's mean. We'll share it if they come back.
So again, I'm going to roll 10 a.m. Anybody going to get out and do anything this day? 7th of January, 1880.
Hey, Doc.
Cold
Why
as
don't
a
you
witch's
ask-
tit in a brass bra.
Hey, Doc. Why don't you ask them if they're aware of any of these petroglyphs we're looking for?
Oh yes, have you ever seen a thing carved in a rock that looks kind of like lightning? Zap.
He looks at
That's
you.
him making the shape with his hands while he's making that sound.
So you're showing him the shape of it, and he looks and he says, "I'm not certain." He said, "If we can make it back to the village." He said, "There is one who would know."
Oh, that seems like a good idea.
Do you translate this for us, Doc?
Yeah, they think they know where someone in the village knows where the petroglyph is.
Well,
These guys aren't supposed to be cannibals or nothing, are they?
well, if oh, that's a good question to
Yeah,
ask.
they would have eaten us by now.
But if
Gonna
yeah,
try.
well, if we didn't have the elk, they probably would have, or at least tried.
Right? Maybe they think they eat Bob or Larry. You know, maybe they don't know it's elk. Oh, you told them it was a flying elk.
It was a tree elk.
It was a falling
Tree.
elk.
I think they meant. I think
Anyway,
a forest elk. Be a tree
tell
elk.
them, Doc, that as a gift from us, any of the elk that's left over, we'd be glad to share with your tribe.
Oh yes. Well, if you would take us there and help, we're glad to share the rest of the elk with you and your friends.
I would say that we could make it today, but do you realize these guys, they don't have snowshoes, they don't have skis, they
Kind of
work-
hard to double up on skis.
Yeah.
Like horses, you can kind of double up on, but skis that don't work
That's
very
why we
well.
should have put the skis on our horses. Ah,
We should have taught our horses how to ski.
Yeah, then spend
I
a
think
year there
Timmons
teaching
coulda-
them.
I think Timmons could have caught Lefty how to ski his mule. He's got to feed him right.
I'd say you'd probably got kicked a time or two trying to teach him. Knowing a mule.
I would think so. A couple of skis slammed into my face. Like 4 canoes, kind of. Mini canoes.
good thinking. Guys, do you know anything about those strange sounds we heard and what kind of animal that may have been?
Well, it could have been many things. I would not be inclined to guess. Basically what he tells you.
Okay, well, hopefully it's not something that will show up and eat us.
We'll probably never hear it again.
Oh, you just had to say it, didn't you?
So when Albert says that, I'm gonna go. Ah!
What do they know of the food going bad up this way?
Yes, have you been having trouble with your food up here?
Well, this big old elk ham that you handed him, he says, and he cuts off this piece and throws it over on the ground, and this dog that you guys didn't see before comes running out of the back shadows and grabs it, pulls
It's a
back.
chihuahua!
can-
Run away!
You can see there's like maggots crawling out of this meat, even though the meat was frozen.
Gonna need more of that hot sauce.
So the dog ate it anyway, despite it being rotting.
And I'll throw it up later.
And then he'll eat it.
Well, it's just unusual for a dog to do that. Usually, animals won't eat, or carnivorous animals won't eat rotten or bad meat.
I mean,
That's
dogs.
just starving.
That's true.
Possibly,
He first rolled in it, then he ate it. That's
Oh.
what my dog would do.
But yes, we think that there is some evil that is causing these food problems, and we're trying to get rid of the evil.
There are two things a dog likes to roll in. That's anything dead and a cat turd. And they'll eat both of them when they're finished. So, you guys cook up a little bit of this meat. If we're to bring any back, we must get going. He says we're
we
not
stuffed
far.
it with garlic cloves. That's what that is. Those are garlic cloves.
Garlic
Stuffed in there.
cloves, the maggots, the ones wiggling around. So you guys,
That wiggly.
Bonus
Maggots are meat
protein.
too.
That's what I keep saying.
you wrap things up and you take off. And again, it's another bright and sunny day. This time the wind's not blowing too much. It's 3 p.m. You know that the sun will be going down the other side of these mountains pretty quick. And by about 4 o'clock, you come into, you drop down in elevation, way down in elevation, like this big bowl. Um, and there's still snow on the ground, but you can see several lean-tos and a couple of tents set up. But some
Probably some smoke from fires.
yeah, some other you see some fires coming out of a couple of different of these lava tubes. But definitely the snow's been packed down. It's dirty. It's been lived on. So you've obviously come into some small encampment. There's probably about 40 or 50 people in this encampment right now, and they all appear to be Indian braves.
Maybe we're in the spirit world.
All hunters of some kind, and you can see like all of these bodies kind of packed in the ice over here, and they're pulling them out. I say bodies are, one of them looks almost like a human, but it's probably a bear. And you see a couple of deer and some maybe they were dogs. You're not sure, but as you come in, they're tending this meat and they're cooking it all up, and you see them packing up, and you realize that these guys were part of a bigger hunting group that had been out. And by about dark, you come in with these 50 people to a village that's probably, and you're way down on in the trees now, and there's more permanent structures set up down here. And there's probably 200-300 people living in this village down, in these trees. House is made of wood.
But
Oh, sorry,
all the
was that your
same,
elk in a tree?
all the same natives, right?
Yep.
Pretty much. Do we
Yep.
see anybody out of place that's
Very
not native?
very colorful clothing on some of them. They've all got big heavy skins they all look well protected from the elements. Do you see what?
Somebody that stands out, like General Zod, or somebody different than these guys.
Somebody Chinese or white man.
No.
Maybe even a black guy.
Nope, all the same peoples. And the only ones outside of the ones that are working, and as soon as these guys bring these 5 or 6 big carcasses into camp with them, they immediately start cooking them up. You see all these women come out and start just hacking this up into strips and hanging it and trying to smoke it over these fires, and people are eating it as quick as you can tell. These people are hungry.
We can help if they let us. Yeah, we kind of push Doc in front a little bit.
I sure wish I had the dice roll thing over here where I could just push it. Everybody give me a notice roll. Come on, somebody. Oh, there we go. Doc Fong. Doc Fong and Timmons. So you're talking, Timmons, you're kind of talking to Doc Fong. Doc Fong's translating to this guy. And you're both looking the same direction when you see a very bright object reflected in the sun that moves into your view. Looks like it's 2 or 3 miles away, and then goes and it's gone. It's really bright.
What was that? Was it
What?
Was it on the ground that we saw this?
No.
Was it somebody like shining a light on us?
Did it seem like it was flying along?
Definitely nothing you've ever seen, Doc Fong.
I have no idea what that was.
It's a UFO.
But
UAPs, man, UAPs.
it was an eyeball. It was the eyeball guy.
It's a UAP.
Unidentified aerial phenomenon is what they're calling them now. They've changed the, you know, even the scientists have gotten woke. They're changing UFO after all these decades to UAP.
Well, I think
I'm
that's
kidding.
because UFO is. Oh.
Yeah. But no, that's what they're calling it,
can see it,
UAP. Really, that's the name.
I mean, I can see why they would get away from UFO, because UFO does have certain stigma, maybe?
Connotations.
Yeah. Also, it implies it's an object. A phenomenon.
I mean,
Could be-
every time somebody says UFO, I just imagine the old school.
Exactly.
Lost in space.
But
Just
that's
the with the little dome on the top.
Yeah, the saucer with the dome, yeah.
Yeah.
When we were kids, we saw a UFO flying around in Orlando. We were like, it's a UFO. It was so cool. We could stop the car. We ran out to the fence, and it was a UFO. It was some guy flying around a remote control UFO. It was so cool.
nice.
Is that a horse on skis?
But for a while, we believed.
No, that's a horse pulling a man on skis.
So, can we eat? Timmons is like, when it's dinner time.
Hey, Flambe, what was that light over there?
You talking to Flambade?
That's the only one whose name I remembered.
Yeah, that's the only one that's talking to you. That's the only one that's been talking to you. He says what?
Oh, I saw.
Because he was looking at you guys. It was behind him. It was back behind him.
A strange brightness reeled for a moment there, but then it disappeared.
Perhaps you should talk to one of our, what do you call them? Medicine men. They didn't call them medicine men. Yeah.
Shaman?
Shaman. You must speak with our shaman. You're seeing things and hearing things that I should not discuss, I should not talk about. And you need to see Bernays sauce.
Yes, we'll speak to Bernays. And who is the other one that you said about that knows? Is that the same person who knows about the petroglyphs?
That is Bernays. I will take you to him, but only you two. And he points to you and Squeezy G. You others are welcome to take the meat down there. They will prepare it for everybody. Tell your friends to wait over there.
I'll do so and then say, let's go, Squeezy, maybe we will learn something.
I'm assuming you tell us, not just walk off.
No, that's what I said. I'll tell you and then say, come on, Squeezy. Either that or started talking before I hit the button.
It is best we send someone to protect you.
So they take you down to this kind of, well, it's all ramshackle buildings that they're living in, but they're decently constructed. And the door is short, and you have to kind of dip to get through it. And when you get inside, you realize it's built back up against this, the side of this, bowl that you're in, and you can see that the back wall is obsidian as well. So it's built back into the wall of this thing. And there's actually about 6 really old men sitting around in here, around this fire that goes up through a hole in the middle of it.
I feel like I fit in.
It's a sauna, and they only have little towels on.
Mm-hmm.
But you could do the lizard guy.
Yeah, we just happened to find a green iguana here.
Those are fur-covered skis? What is that?
Yeah, it's horsehide skis, apparently.
Oh. No, it's not green iguana.
No, but I'm just saying he could be here. He had to get away from those Karen ladies.
No, I mean that's just the image I got when you explained this.
There's
They're
no
like,
escape from the Karen League of Perdition.
The Karen League of Perdition. I'm sorry we can't have your kind around here. Can somebody please call a manager for me?
the hat lady.
I mean,
We
that's
need to
kinda
see the
how he
mayor.
treated us.
The
Or the
manager of
sheriff.
the town.
So it's like, no, I'm having nightmares. Wake me up. Wake me up.
So they take you in to
Before you
meet
go,
Bernays, right? And the old man is kind of he kind of perks up, and he leans forward and you can see that
A little frothy.
he grabs a hold of your face and he's like, oh, and his eyes are like almost milky white, but it seems like he can see a little bit, but he tells you, please sit. What a strange time of the year to get visitors in the camp.
Yes, well, we were on our way to fight evil, and we got lost.
To fight evil. Evil has come to this land, stranger.
Yes, indeed. We have found out that if we find these petroglyphs that look like lightning, we can stop the evil. Sweezy knows all about it. Let me introduce Sweezy G.
But he doesn't understand their language. So what do you do, Sweezy? Do you look at these guys? Do you give them any honorific or anything?
I would say he'll naturally bow deeply. I mean, the guy seems to be some sort of spiritual leader. I mean, give him
or at the very least,
acceptable.
an elder.
You know, I don't know any names, but it's just nice to meet you.
Right. So he's kind of looking your direction as you make this bow, and as you do, Doc, you can see his head follows him as he, he's like looking at him, and as he bows, he kind of like this and then back. So it's like he can see him and can see around him, and then but it looks like he's feeling his way back to his seat, and he turns around and he sits down. You can almost hear his old bones creaking, and hollandaise sauce, yeah, béarnaise,
Right.
yeah, and he says, I may know of what it is that you speak, but it is something that we never talk of. It is something that is better left alone.
Oh, well, we would certainly normally do that, but you see, there's this whole vicious famine that's plaguing the lands, and we'd like to fix that because, the evil part.
Oh, there it is.
As we heard, this Mount Mazama place is nearby, and it's supposed to have one. Also, that mountain over there, the tall one. Oh, and Flambe also said that you knew what kind of animal it might be that was making a sound. It kind of sounds like at nighttime, and put an elk in a tree.
As you're saying this, all these old men, they kind of sit up and they're whispering to each other. A couple of them look rather pissed off. And the old man looks up at you with those glassed over eyes and he says, What did this thing do that made this noise? Did you say it left an elk in the tree?
Yes.
You told him that?
We think it was related. At the very least, we followed the sound of this thing, and then we found an elk in a tree. We're not entirely sure that's normal.
That's not normal at all, out of character.
But we did, well, yeah, I mean, but we did bring the meat with us. There is some outside if you are hungry.
The meat will not last long. Perhaps we can see another meal, and then another one after this. Our hunters are hunting day and night to keep our people fed this year. Our grain stores are all turned. The bread wouldn't rise. Yada, yada, yada. Then
Yes, that's why we must
then the
fix the
whiskey
problem.
ran out. Then the beer ran out.
Can't make alcohol without some sort of grain.
Yeah,
Generally.
that's
I
right.
mean,
I'll
you
say I
should start with
close
fruit.
that. So Bernays, the medicine man, why he's got a French name you don't know. He tells you, he
Acadian.
says, you have heard the song of the mountain spirit.
Oh, a good mountain spirit or a bad one?
Well, it left you food, didn't it?
Ah, that would make sense.
Not
We heard
really.
there was some
It would
sort
make
of...
no sense.
Well, to be fair, nothing really has made sense for a while now, so this is surprisingly sensible, all things considered.
I am uncertain, he says.
You should meet Timmons and it will suddenly make more sense. But regardless, we heard that there was various spirits that lived here. There was a good one named Skell.
So you start talking about this, and he tells you, he says,
Is that related?
I will tell you a story. And, I will assume that you will, relay all of this to the party when you get back to them, so everybody will be made aware
Yes.
of this information. The rest of you guys, you're being fed well. They're actually treating you halfway decent, but they're very standoffish. You can tell that they don't like the white man here too much. And, truthfully, I wouldn't fucking blame them.
And Timmons being the spectacular, shining example of everything they hate about the white man.
He's shining the epitome.
And he is trying to blend in and be like in a tent somewhere if he can after he eats.
It's not working too well for you. So anyway, Doc Fong and Doc, I'm assuming that you were translating for Sweezy G as he tells the story. He says,
Yes.
the highly worshipped and respected spirits of the earth and sky often came and spoke with the Klamath people. Lao is the spirit of the below world who lived beneath Lao Yaina. You call it Mount Mazama. And Skell was the spirit of the above world. Lao would pass through a hole in the mountain so that he could see the outside world. This was before the Great Lake was born. And he would often come stand on top of Lao Yaina, where his head could reach up and touch the stars. And one day, while he was standing atop Lao Yaina, Lao saw Loha, daughter of a Klamath Indian chief, and fell madly in love with her. And her beauty was beyond compare. Yet he was very ugly, so she rejected him. And these old men all laugh. This angered Lao, and so he swore revenge on the Klamath people for her slight against him. And the great Klamath Indian chief went to Skell in search of help for his people, for Lao was attempting to destroy them by setting fire to the land. So Skell descended from the sky and perched atop Mount Shasta to do battle with Lao. And the battle caused the earth to tremble and quake as they hurled fiery red rocks at each other over the great expanse between Mazama and Shasta. This caused massive landslides. The sky filled with ash, and a terrible darkness spread over the countryside, blocking out the sun for days. Lao and Skell called all of the spirits of the earth into the battle, which caused great fear among the people of the tribe. To locate the gods and to pay for the sins of Loha, 2 medicine men from the tribe threw themselves into the pit of the below world. Their sacrifice impressed Skell so much that he fought with renewed vigor and defeated Lao, driving him back down into the below world, where Skell then imprisoned him beneath the top of Mount Mazama by collapsing the mountain and covering up the deep, dark pit with beautiful blue water. This crater lake would forever reflect the wonder of the sky above. This brought peace to the land and created a sea of tranquility. But now, you would wish to shatter that. And he sits back and all the old men are like, they're nodding.
Well, it's not so much that we want to shatter it, but it seems like something has already happened. That's why the wheat is going bad so badly.
And you seek, and the word he uses for petroglyph, and he shows you the sign of the earthquake.
Yes, it's like that. If we can find several more, we should be able to stop the evil.
These are the seals that Skell put to hold Lao in his prison. There are 3 of them.
Oh, is there one near the lake, near the mountain, and then north of there?
There is one at Mount Mazama. Your people have recently come there. They call it Crater Lake.
Are they wearing red?
No, they were not wearing red.
Oh, well that's better.
They were wearing hats. They were wearing pants. But they were not red.
They had gloves.
Gloves.
But they were not red.
And scarves. But they were not red either. But their shoes.
There was one that had red.
And the logo on his hat.
So the story goes on about these people that weren't wearing red.
Several hours later.
He stands up and walks back.
He don't want to cause trouble, of course, but
he's feeling his way back to the back of this hut thing that he lives in that's built back into this mountain. And you see some skins and things hanging back there. And he says, "Come." And you kind of walk around the fire pit, and these old men are watching you as you walk back there, and he tries to take some of these big, heavy, like bearskin rugs, and you can tell they're too heavy for him. Doc Fong, you and him together trying to lift some of these things up. They're hanging on some long pine, like say young pine trees cut down and all the limbs cut off of them. Sweezy G, probably use your help trying to get these furs and skins out of the way.
I would assist.
And as you guys do, you can see carved into the stone on the back of this rock is a petroglyph.
Oh.
Shining in silver, embedded in the obsidian of the wall.
We just had to have someone do the thing, not the same person each time, right?
Yes. Now, Luke, you guys have let him do all the other.
Well, yeah.
But you're pretty sure he ain't gonna be welcomed in here.
Yeah, I got that feeling. What was this, Sweezy?
Since I helped move the furs, I'm right close to it.
Yeah, you're right there. It's right in front of you. It's 2 feet from your face. It's like right here.
Yes.
You could accidentally bleed on it. You caught something on the fur, and you
all his stabby bits.
I said, could I just stealthily stab my thumb with my little iron blade as I'm moving around?
Sure.
Yeah, there's a little blood on it.
Yeah, you can very easily. And the old blind man that had a -6 to even tell what you were doing. He doesn't notice what happens, but yet
Well, I'm sorry.
you can feel the earth under your feet begin to vibrate slightly.
But you see, yeah, we don't want to cause any problems, but my friend here's ancestors told him all about where these were. So we need to do a thing so that we can stop the evil.
You will probably waken a great evil. And you see this old man who can't, it looks like he can't see shit. And he reaches over and he feels along the wall. And he wipes where Sweezy G put the blood on there, and you can see him taste it. You have already begun to waken, Lao. Perhaps you know something that we do not. But you're asking a great deal from our people.
Well, if this Lao shows up again, is there a way to get in contact with this Skell that maybe he can help again?
You hear a great rumbling. And now everybody sitting around the fire, you can see like sparks coming up off the fire as the wood vibrates. Definitely a tremor goes through the earth. And the old men begin to talk amongst each other, and they're looking over at you guys.
Robble, robble, robble,
Robble, robble, robble. And you see the old blind guy, Bernays, turns around and holds his hands up and tells him to remain calm. He says, I have seen this day coming.
And everyone laughs.
Oh, what did you see?
No, everyone didn't laugh.
He's
And
blind.
he
They're
turns
really sick of
around.
this joke at
He
this
turns
point in his
around
life.
and looks at you right in the eye. Although you're pretty sure, you're like, this guy can't see nothing, but he's staring right through your head, Doc. When you say, what did you see? And he says, you know what I have seen. And he goes and he sits down, and he looks at the old men sitting around, and he tells them, now go prepare the people. We must move immediately. And send for eel sauce.
Eel sauce.
And we had to get a little more exotic. And that's the top of the hour. That's where we're going to leave it for the week. But they sent for a guide who's going to take you where you need to go. You need 2 more petroglyphs now. But the last 2 are not going to be fucking easy at all. And the old man tells you as much, Doc. And then he lets you go tell all your friends. And by the time you get back to the rest of the party, you're looking to the north. And you hear a great...
And it's not Timon's stomach this
And
time.
it's not Timon's stomach, and the whole earth shakes, and there's and you see a big burst of black soot launch towards the sky as the sun sets, and these wise men of the clan come out and start giving orders, and the women and the young, the children and stuff begin breaking down their little village immediately. And we're gonna leave it right there.
To be continued.
Yeah, until next week. And is it next week that I'll be going? I think Thursday night. I don't know. I gotta find out. I may be heading to the family reunion. Is that the Friday the 10th? Yep. It would be. So yeah, Thursday I might be heading out of town. I don't think so. I think it'll just be Friday. So I think we're good for Thursday night. But if you're looking for a stream tomorrow night, you can check out Drake Takes doing Jungles of Chult, which he had forgotten about, I think.
Yeah, I did, but I did some prep, so...
Did you do some prep? Somebody throw up Drake. Has anybody got Drake the stream? There we go, Drake Takes.
Thank you.
Yeah, and we'll be back on Rob Tui's channel Saturday night. Right there, and back at Drake's again Tuesday, and then back here next Thursday. And then I think I'm off for the weekend because of the family reunion. So, And you can always go to YouTube and, listen to some of the bullshit that we say and believe, and at least attempt to make you think we believe in it. And if you want to argue some of our points and tell us we're wrong, or add some flavor to the story, go to my YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button. You won't get spammed, but about once every couple of weeks you'll get an update that we've uploaded the latest video or two. And that's about it.
And next week, the NPCs' names are going to be starting with spices. So you got
Spices.
cinnamon.
Ooh, I can't wait till we get to hang out with Saffron and Tarragon.
Saffron
No,
and tarragon.
watch out for oregano now.
Oh, whoa.
Oh, yes,
I've got my
that'd
own
be
special oregano.